And it's also the new moon. Hi, everybody. Welcome. It's another
Hey.
Friday night. Allyson and I are back, and we have a treat tonight. Ange, Roots and Waves, is joining her and I. And tonight is a new moon, so this should be interesting as well. Tapping into the museum. And I hope everybody had a fun and safe Halloween. And tonight, Ange had an idea of reading on the Niagara Apothecary Museum, which is in Ontario, which is a hop skip from me on the Canadian side and not far from her. And I said, "Ooh, let's do it. Let's ask Allyson." And she was up for it. So thank you, everybody. Thanks, Ange, for joining Allyson and I. It was so fun. I always like when I get to introduce when we finally officially meet each other. It was like Ange, Allyson.
Yeah.
We're always like, "Hey, girl, hey," in
Yeah.
the chat. So it was nice. So before we get into it, Ange, what Allyson and I usually like to do is we ask each other, "How was your week? Anything fun or exciting happened?" People usually share in chat, and we share about our week. So you're our guest. Would you like to share anything fun and exciting that happened for you this week that you want to share? Except
Sure.
so many times. I mean, with Rain, you and me and Elizabeth last night.
Right.
I mean, you've been busy, girl.
That's right. Yeah. So first of all, thank you so much to both of you. I love Friday. Those Friday shows are I love all the shows, of course, but Friday is just like chill. And what I love the most about this show is like, you never know what's going to come up, what we're going to talk about. And I love the free form of it. And I love both of your energies. And I just love that the chat is so engaging. And anyway, so thanks for having me, because I was thrilled when you asked me. I'm like, yes, please. But what have I been up to this week? I've been making my YouTube rounds, like I say. I've been going live a lot on my channel, and I've been invited on other channels. Let's see. I was live with Karen to do readings, and Bobby's channel, you were there as well. And
yep, that was a surprise. That was fun. Yep.
And I was with you on your channel the other day for the Human Spirit Oracle. We went live last night for some Halloween reads, which was really fun, and it got silly in the chat towards the end.
Oh my goodness, we were having a blast. But Miss Tarot D and Tom was in the chat. Oh my God, Allyson, those two. It's like, man, talk about needing a naughty corner.
So that was fun. And yeah, I got sent a box of books and decks for review from Llewellyn, so I was showing those, and I'm really trying to create some more content on my channel, some actual videos. Like, I've been going live a lot, but I have some videos actually that I'm creating, and so it feels good to finally have the time and the headspace to do it. And yeah, that's pretty much what I got up to this week. That was it. Yeah.
Very cool. So Allyson, I really haven't talked to you this week, girl. What you been up to? Besides work?
Yeah, I noticed that earlier today. Yes, that's true. God, I would love to say something really good and nice, you guys, and I'm so tired of mentioning work. And I'm just so tempted to go, "Oh, nothing, just skip it." I don't know what's going on. It's definitely planetary. We had I don't even know how many accidents, which is crazy.
Yeah.
We don't have accidents. Yeah. I mean, they do happen, but I'll just give one example. This morning, I'm in the lot. Those of you know, I'll be very quick. I drive a school bus, as everybody freaking knows, and I'm walking out of the building. We have two large bus lots, right? My bus is in the main lot. I walk through dispatch, say good morning to everybody. I'm walking out to my vehicle, and thankfully I'm right out of the exit. My bus is the fourth in line off to the right. And I'm walking, and the second bus, maybe I'm the fifth bus, doesn't matter. Second bus, because all the electric buses are right there. We only have a few. Electric bus backs up, goes in front of me. And I'm kind of half watching it, not really watching it, because there's no reason to even watch. And, and I'm already starting my morning in my head and everything. he stopped because another bus was backing, and this chick's not even paying attention, and she backed right into him. I witnessed the whole thing.
Wow.
I was just like, wait, what? Like, he stopped and waited, and there's plenty of room.
And
He
she
could
still
have been
hit him.
back a little further, to be quite honest, a little bit. She's backing up like she's done 100,000 times, I'm sure. It doesn't matter. You always have to do it 100.
Absolutely.
You do not get lazy or slug like you're a professional driver. Sorry, that's how I feel. And that's how you're supposed to feel.
Yeah, especially with kids.
She backed up. Well, there's nobody on board. You're in the bus lot. But still, she backs up and runs right into him. I'm like, where is your brain?
God.
It was crazy. And then there were several accidents this week, and then somebody got rear-ended at a railroad crossing, which is the railroad crossing that I do. I do that procedure 5 times every day. I do it twice in the AM, 3 times in the PM, because my route is a little bit different. Bus right before me in the morning. She's on the radio. She's like, yeah, I just got rear-ended. And it was a 2-car pileup. Somebody hit her, and then the car that hit her, somebody else hit that car.
Wow.
And I'll say something else, and then I swear I'm done. It was so dark this week, you guys, in the morning. Oh my God. Because we're in the dark moon, or we're now in the dark moon, right?
Yeah.
I could not believe, like, this sky right now is so dark. It's like you can't see anything in the morning except for where your lights are. I mean, and it doesn't even start to get daylight until I have dropped off, right when I'm dropping off my middle schoolers and I'm about to roll out to go get my elementary. Anyways, it was just really crazy. It was very sad. I've never prayed for more drivers while on my route, which I do than I did this week. Just sending out prayers like crazy. Because it's so sad. It's so upsetting when something happens, you know? And it's just, it felt planetary. And then because every day, you guys, every day this week, there was something several times. And it was like, what is going on? Like weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks will go by and you don't hear anything.
Yeah. And Tom got hit. Tom got rear-ended too this past week. It was either last week or during this week. Someone rear-ended Tom, and there wasn't a lot of damage. Tom was okay, but we still told him, make sure you go in and have your doctors check you just to be on the safe side. And then I just found out today, I was sharing with the ladies backstage, that a woman took her life and the lives of her 2 children, a 5-month-old and a 9-year-old, went past the railing off of Goat Island here at Niagara Falls and threw herself and her kids into the falls. And so it's just like there is just so much heavy energy.
It's Scorpio season, right?
That is going on. But I mean, my goodness, last year a woman drove her car into the rapids. And this is why, Ange and I talk so much, and I know that when Ange does her show with Rain, and they discuss mental health and the importance of it, we really need to make sure people are feeling safe to get the mental health and help that they need. So I don't know what this woman's poor history was, where she felt that this was the only way out was with her and her kids like that. But we really, and then of course, everything going on with, the elections coming up and whatnot. It's just, there's a lot. And Allyson said planetary. There's just so much going on. But, for me, I've had a pretty much a good week. Found out they raised my internet $15 without telling me. So I went to go pay my $71 today and found out that it was $88 now a month. I'm like, oh, this is nice. Other than that, Shannon and I went and to get some Palo Santo. So I'm on my Palo Santo, and I decided to look at the cards, and I was looking at the Ghost Tarot and telling him that was the deck I've been wanting, especially with tonight. Would have been nice to have that deck for the paranormal readings. And he goes, "Oh, happy sound, honey, just go ahead and get it." So he got me the ghost tarot. He got me a cookie from the shop we got our hot cocoa from. So it was a very nice day, and I didn't get to share this with anybody yet. And Allyson, check this out. It's a charm, and it's a crow skull. It's kind of hard to see, but there's like a little pattern on it.
Yeah.
Only $2 for that little guy. So now I've got my little crow.
God.
So yeah,
Very cool.
nice little day today.
You went on a little date with your hubby. That's so cool.
Yes, because we weren't able to do anything for our anniversary last month. So today was, a nice little day for us to go out. Didn't spend a lot. It was just enough to, cookie, cocoa, and
that sounds
cards weren't that
fantastic
that
to me. Yeah.
So, but really quick, I know I'm probably very far behind in but I wanted to say hello to Magus. Magus was here waiting for us. So is Nancy. Nancy said she would pop in. We have Karen, Care Bear here with us as well. She's also had a very busy week with the little pop-ups. And Megan says, so happy to see you all. You are all a blessing, and so are you, my dear. Thank you for being here. And Brianne is here. Hello, Brianne. And let's see. Oh, yes, chat really did jump. Miss Tarot D is here. Yeah. I really need to back it up here.
Back it up.
Dora, back it up. So Shelby is here.
Hey, Shelby.
Miss Tarot D. Hello, my dear. I know today was treatment day, so I hope you're doing all right, kicking back, relaxing.
Yeah.
You and Tom had us in stitches last night. You guys were so fun. And
I almost peed my pants.
I know, a couple of times. Jay is here. Majestic Oracle is here. Anything to do with children, it's quite unfortunate. And everyone's saying hello and Shelby wanted to know if everyone had a fun time yesterday on Halloween. I did. I got to have some, readings and some fun times and laughs. Did you do anything, Allyson? Did you get any trick-or-treaters?
We were with the plans that we had got changed, and I won't even go into the whole thing of why, but no trick-or-treaters. No, I live in an apartment, so no, kids don't. In Michigan anyways, it's kind of just a known thing because although I was gone a long time, I did grow up here. You don't go to the apartment buildings trick-or-treating. You just skip that. No, but a lot of my kids, I was really surprised that I drive were dressed up.
Aww.
Way more the middle schoolers than the elementary, and there were some really good costumes. Yeah.
So very nice.
Today and yesterday. I don't know why, but yeah, they dressed up today and yesterday.
Cool.
Garnet is here saying astrological tarot. Hello. Is Michelle Marie here? Did I miss Michelle Marie?
Oh.
Or was he maybe referring to Miss Karen, our little astrological queen? Let's see. Miss Tarot D. Allyson and person who should not be named today. What? I'm so far behind. I didn't get all of that. I'm sorry, Miss Tarot D. Jay says Angie's background is everything, with the tree. So Karen says something about clarification and got the chariot reversed. So I'm not driving this weekend. I'm staying home. Girl, Shannon and I are too. We don't like going out on the weekends. The driving here is even worse.
Yeah.
So Brianne said I pulled a few cards earlier and asked energy if anybody on their side had a message never done before for me. So it was very nice.
Oh, cool.
Well, good for you. And Shelby says, I love and hate this time of year when it's getting dark, waiting until daylight savings. Yeah, for me, I like the darkness, but like when you're Allyson, you got to get up at, 5 a.m. and it's so dark, especially when it starts to get cold. Yeah. I didn't like having to do that when I was working the midnight shift and stuff. So yeah, it was.
I'm one of the oddballs that doesn't mind it at all. I just don't like driving the safety of it with what I do. But I'm an early bird. I like to go to bed early, get up early. So I don't have a problem with that. But
yeah, it was so funny the other night when Tom was on with us and Allyson came in and was like, Tom, what? And she goes, darn, I gotta go to bed.
Yeah. So, and it's funny that I even caught it because I normally was already in bed. I think that was like 9:30 or something. Usually I'm in bed tucked in, done by 9. I might not go to
Yeah.
sleep at 9, but I'm in bed.
So it
Mhm.
was fun when you popped in. He's just like, huh? I'm here. He says he will make a date soon for you and I, Allison.
Oh, I hope so. That would be fun.
Yes, and he is a great reader. He really is. That
Yes.
was a lot of fun. And then of course later on, when Ginger, Bobby, and Ramon were done with their paranormal storytelling, Ramon popped into chat and we're like, "Hey, you want to join us?" He's like, "Sure." I was hoping you would ask me. So the
Aw.
last 4 readings were with Ramon as well. So it's been a good week. Let's see. Shelby says, I had a good calming time. It's been a bit hectic because of my grandmother's. Oh, your grandmother's in the hospital. I'm sorry, sweetheart.
no.
She's all right. She had a wound that wasn't. Sounds like my sister. So much love and quick healing for you, my dear. And Miss Taro D said, yep, treatment went well, everyone. That's good. I slept most of the afternoon. However, I did get to set my NP and new doctor straight on how we need to proceed. Good for you. Had to put my foot down and take control over my life. Yep, they are there to help us. And I'm glad that you were able to express your needs and your wants with them. So good for you, Miss Taro D.
Mhm.
Um,
Absolutely.
and Shelby says, I dressed up as the former as the something reaper, and I wanted to go up to the hospital to visit her, but oh yeah, you don't want the Grim Reaper visiting the patient. No, no, Shelby, you don't.
That would have been iconic.
And I love the Reaper because that's my man's favorite thing. But
Oh
yeah,
my
not at the
God.
hospital. I'll
Not at
show
the
you guys something.
She's gonna show us something. You could have been walking around the hospital playing Blue Oyster Cult. Don't fear the Reaper.
Anthony got me a whole bunch of stuff for Halloween. Like a whole, I won't show you guys everything. It would, I mean, he got me so much stuff. But look at this cute little Reaper he got me.
Oh, is that a stained glass piece or like
Here,
It's not. I wish it was. It's actually plastic, which is why he
Yeah.
almost didn't buy it for me. But I'm so glad that he did. Isn't it adorable?
That is cute.
it's very
But it
cute.
is a light catcher. It is. I hung it on the wall though, but it is a light catcher, and it's got the hanging, and it's got a little suction cup and all that. Isn't that stinking cute?
That is really.
It is.
I love it.
So cute.
That's a
I
cute
love
face.
him. So yeah.
He's so cute.
And I just want to say to Miss Taro D, coming from a medical background, you're always your best advocate, and
Yes,
good for you. Good for you, because there's no person that knows what they need but you yourself. I mean, yes, obviously you work with a health team, but at the end of the day, healthcare professionals really need to listen to the patient. And so I'm really glad that you're standing up for yourself. Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
And I'm biting my tongue off. There is so much. Oh God, it's just it's such a racket. The whole health care system, sickness.
We could have a whole live on that one, Heather.
Yeah.
No, I just had a whole deep dive conversation just today, but it's the whole. It's set up to be sick. That's what it's set up for. Yeah.
Very much so. And
it's a for profit. It's a money machine.
Exactly.
And Miss Taro D said, "Oh, I love Anthony. His love language is gift giving."
I do too. He's so sweet.
Aww.
He's so sweet. He's actually, honestly, he is I think he's probably the kindest, most loving, warmest, genuine person I've ever met in my whole life. And also just happens to be the person that I'm with. Yeah. And that's a huge statement. He really, really, truly is.
And Brianne says, Ange, I love your advice. Yep. You are your own best advocate.
Absolutely. Exactly. Yeah. And that's also important that, you have a family member or somebody close to you that if you can't advocate for yourself, please dedicate somebody to be your voice out here, because if something happens to you and you end up in this medical system and you don't have a voice, they're going to be your voice. Let me tell you, they don't have your best interest. I'm just saying.
And Miss Taro D said, yeah, Ange, yes. The first 4 words after her name, the doctor said was, I'm the expert in this type of cancer. my response was, I'm and I'm in the expert of me. So
Yes.
she's not the one
That's right.
got the cancer. You do. And so there you
Exactly.
go.
Like, you can study it all you want. You can read from that book, Sunshine, but you don't know, like, she doesn't know you personally.
Yeah,
She
we're all
knows your
different.
diagnosis. That doesn't mean she knows you, right? So,
Exactly.
oh, I'm gonna get fired up about this.
That's a whole other show.
It's a disgusting, sickening system.
It's like, I got chills right now. Like, I'm
It's
like,
horrifying.
oh gosh.
Yeah.
It is.
Criminal,
What-
really.
So the place that we're reading on isn't horrifying, but it is haunted. And Ange and Allyson and myself we're talking backstage, and when we were starting to look at pictures and reading about what we're going to be reading on tonight, the Niagara Apothecary Museum, no real heavy energy. The only energy in that area that would be heavy, I was starting to watch a little bit of a video, was that Ange, and I know you probably know the history now because you've been living in Canada with your husband all these years, is that was one of the area where it was the most fighting with the forts and everything there.
Yes.
So you are going to have, there's a lot of places in that area that they were talking about. The Blue Angel or something like that, different hotels and the forts and stuff where there is a lot of heavy energy. But with this particular place, I didn't feel anything. And when they talked about the older man in the apron that they see in spirit, all I could think of was your Beetlejuice card with the older gentleman and Karen's grandpa. So it just felt like that energy. That
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
That's so funny. Grandpa's coming up again, Karen. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
I have a question.
Okay.
Real quick, and then I'll shush up. I know it was an apothecary for a long time, and it's only because whenever I write down we're going to do questions, I always write across the top what I'm reading on. It's just my way of connecting. I wrote on here Niagara Pharmacy Museum. What is the actual name right now?
No, a Niagara Apothecary.
It is Niagara Apothecary, but it's Niagara Apothecary Museum, correct?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Now it's a museum.
Okay. That's what I was asking. Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, it's been through a lot of different owners. It's 156 years old and has been run by 6 pharmacists. Rodman Starkweather. It actually, it was at a different location and I know I'm going to butcher this word. That's why we have Ange here. On Prideaux. Is that how you pronounce it? Prideaux Street.
Yep.
So it's Prideaux. Okay, so it was originally in a building on Prideaux, but then in 1833 it was relocated by James. James Harvey owned it from 1833 to 1851.
Yeah.
And then Henry Pafford relocated to the location that we're reading on tonight, to that building.
Right.
And so it's had like 6 owners, but Ange is really super familiar with it. So I'm just going to kind of put you in the little bit of the big seat here, girl. And you can kind of give us our little, little spiel.
The introduction.
Isn't it on?
Okay.
Is it and Ange, is it on a crossroads? Because I heard him saying it's on the corner of King and Queen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which I thought was super cool. King and Queen Street. Okay.
Right? Yes, it is on a crossroads. So, okay. So for anybody that wants to follow along with maybe looking at pictures and reading some information, I'm just going to post like a few links in the chat. If you're on a device that you can do that, I would encourage you, just because for me, it always helps when I have like an image that I can tap into.
And there is a link too I provided in the description box.
Yeah.
That you sent me, Ange, that I wanted to share with
that was
everybody.
another good one too.
You want to click
for
on
sure.
it.
It's adorable.
There. Okay. So there we go. So yeah. So like Heather was saying, Niagara Apothecary, oh my gosh, it has a huge, long history. It was in operation from 1820 to 1964. So 144 years. That's a long time. And and it went through 6 different owners. The only reason why the last owner gave it up is because he became gravely ill and he had no choice. And so, as you can imagine, being a pharmacy for 144 years, there's going to be some spirits coming and going, whether that be previous staff that worked there, owners that owned it, obviously patients that came in to buy supplies. Because, you got to think of it. It's also like you could also go in there and buy over-the-counter stuff, just like, shoppers here in Canada or Walgreens in the States, So that's where people went. And it was very different though, right? You have to remember, like back in the 1800s and stuff is, here in Canada, we ordered our things from Britain. So when they needed supplies for pharmacies, they would have to buy in these huge, big bulk containers, and it would have to be shipped over by like ship across the ocean. And so it would take quite a while to get to us. And then eventually we could order supplies from Chicago, it's very close to us. So that made things a lot easier in terms of being able to access supplies that were needed. So, it's the oldest pharmacy in all of Ontario, and it is said to be haunted, but not haunted in a bad way or haunted in a very specific way. It's just more, like I said, because 144 years has been around, there's going to be some activity coming and going, right? So there's talk that perhaps Victorian seances took place there as well. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but that's what some of the talk is. And I'm just going to pull up some information that I had jotted down here. So a 19th century pharmacy, we already said where it was located, here in Niagara on Lake Ontario in Canada. So it is said to be haunted, and the specific hauntings that they talk about, just so that we can tap into it if we want to read on it just for fun, There's a mysterious figure often spotted near the counter, thought to be the former pharmacist. He's in the white apron, like the lab coat, and he's working away and stuff like that. People say that they can see him, and then he disappears. There's been talk in 1998, I believe. There was a huge group of tourists there, and they saw a gentleman dressed up in the 1860s attire, and he was at the display cases, looking in, and they thought he was part of the staff that were reenacting for this.
That is so cool.
And they took pictures of him because they were on, they're tourists. But back then, remember, you had to get your film developed. They didn't have these digital things. And so when they developed their film, this guy was not in any of the pictures. There was a lot of tourists that talked to each other, and it was the same outcome for many of them, not just one person.
That is really cool.
There's a couple pictures where you can see a foggy silhouette. So that definitely tells you, obviously that this gentleman, whether he worked there before or, obviously if he's in a white coat, you would think that he worked there, right? So that's one thing.
And so he was appearing as a full apparition, and a whole bunch of people saw him.
Yeah.
Right.
They thought he was solid. He was real.
They thought he was really there. Yeah. Full solid apparition. That's amazing. Which
is very rare. That's really cool. Yeah. And another thing that they report is cold drafts. That's, to me, that's pretty vague. That could be anything, but they say that it couldn't be explained by natural airflow, even in the hottest days. Because remember, this is Niagara on the Lake, and in the wintertime, this museum is not open. It doesn't open again now until May, right? Because it's not tourist season there. It's really cold, and nobody would really visit there. So, but they say that there's a faint smell of medicinal herbs that floats through the pharmacy at random. Stuff like that. And then also, murmurs and whispers off in the distance. Nobody can really explain it. These are all very typical things of spirits that come and go, right? So again, we're going to read on it tonight for fun, but there's no specific, nobody was murdered there or something, nobody died there, anything like that. But yeah, just the overall energy feels really, really good. And because there's so much history to it, I just thought it would be fun. So yeah.
It's interesting that spot right there is the energy is good when you did have a lot of battles and the wars taking place there. So to me, it almost feels like that area, especially that building, is so loved by everybody who owned and worked it there, that it kind of is almost like a barrier, like a protection from the negative energy that sometimes
right,
some
exactly,
spirits protect areas when they're passed. from
For
negative
sure.
ones. So,
And if you think about how many, like you said, like there were so many battles that took place back then, how many people had to frequent the pharmacy? I mean, it's the pharmacy. That's where you'd go to get the things that you need. But also remember back then, like a pharmacy was so much more than just a place that you got your medication. It was actually healthcare. Like people actually, like you came there to get help. Like people were actually, you know, able to give you some sort of on-site care, you know, minimum, of course, not like hospitalization or anything like that. But, yeah, and you know they would make some compounds on site, like we still do today. You know, I worked in a pharmacy too, but
thanks, DP.
yeah, there's a pretty good energy around it. Like
Hey,
you said,
John.
I'm sure it is protected by some of the people who.
I think it's a portal.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a very
Ooh.
strong portal.
Mm-hmm.
I got that. And
Yep.
also, and I'm sorry, I just,
No.
the fact that this apparition was there and solid and looking like a person and all these people on the same day saw it.
Yeah.
It's a portal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the energy is very light and good and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And people really go in there and they enjoy it. Anyways, yeah, that's what, yeah.
And there was
And it feels so true when I say it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
And there's a quick little 5-minute video that his last name is Dunstan. I can't remember what his first name is, but he talks about how back in the day, though, before regulations were in place, you could put medicine on you could put anything in a bottle and
Right.
stick the word medicine or something on it, and there was no way of being able to prove it. So a lot of snake oil like stuff back then. And so even with that possibility, that energy is still good there, though, that at least even if, you know, maybe it really wasn't as helpful, you know, as it was sold to be, it wasn't like intentional. Like they really thought that they were selling something that could really help somebody, you know.
Something else, and I don't know what year, and I wish I'd thought about it because I would have done my research and got the actual years. You know, when pharmacies, apothecaries first opened, there were no drug companies.
Right. Exactly.
Say that one more time. There were no drug companies yet. So that's what it was. It was tinctures and witches, if you will, that would put stuff together and bring it in. And barbers, a lot of barbers were the ones that did like physical stuff, which is crazy. And then there was another. And then when all the medicinal stuff started, it was salesmen, which isn't entirely different than how it is now and how the money's made in hospitals.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, but yeah, no, it's very, very, and the mixing of herbs and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, that's very much what an apothecary was. So.
And Moira mentioned last night that she has been there. I think Moira said you're one of our Canadian neighbors across the border, and she says 2 doors down is the ye old fudge shop. So she knows that area very well. And so Moira, if you've had any experiences or any feelings that you felt when you were in there, please let us know. And Miss Terrell D said, sounds like the pharmacist at CVS. You can see him. Then he disappears when you want your order.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
So, and Morris says we used to go to the NOTL
Niagara on the Lake.
Okay, as kids to buy natural licorice sticks. Ooh. And Ms. Taro D, I think most medicines and tonics had small amounts of opioids and cocaine. Yes, like Shelby was mentioning in Coca-Cola. And in it, and that's why people felt that they worked, you know. And Brianna says Niagara on the Lake Angel Inn is another where they have activities. Yes, that was one of the ones that popped up on my radar too. And Jay says, I think the ley lines it sits and creates that portal. So I think Jay's picking up on that portal too, Allyson.
Yes, and I was going to say that too. When I first mentioned that, the fact that it's at a crossroads, that it's even located at a crossroads is very powerful.
So, and yes, Karen, seances were very common in the Victorian era. So I am sure many of them were.
Also, Ange, what was going on there between 1964 and 1971? That's
Um,
7 years. Did it just
I
sit empty, or is that when the law firm was there, or because there was a law firm there too at some point?
Yeah, that's right. I'm not sure because it says that it was in operation until 64, but maybe I know that at one point, the Heritage, there's a name for it, place.
The Ontario Heritage Trust took it over in
Thank you.
1969, and I
Right.
think they fought back and forth trying to get people
It
who
was just
wanted
sitting.
to sell it.
Who was
Yeah.
right? Who was going to get ownership of it? And then a
Yes.
really cool story to follow up with that is the Heritage Society reached out to the Ontario Pharmacists, the College of Ontario Pharmacists, which is the head of all pharmacists here, and they actually were very interested in helping with the restoration of it to ensure that it was exactly as it would operate back then. So they wanted to make sure that it was represented fact, like, you know,
Accurate.
this is how it would accurately.
And
Yeah.
there's actual Copo bottles in there, the bottom one. I mean, all the original. They were able to find some antique with the papers and things. It looks
Original?
really cool. I think they found
Or
some original.
replicated?
No, these are original. So the glass bottles that are on display are original hand blown, like glass.
From that
blown.
apothecary?
There are some that were from that apothecary, and there was other things that were donated from other places. Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's what yes. Okay.
Mhm. Yep.
Very cool though. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And Karen says they tried to hold it for me, and they do their own compounds for some medicines too, which is cool. I must be. Oh, Karen says I go to local owned pharmacy now. We have an apothecary here too. Only one who cares. They keep my ADH meds in stock for you. And Morris says she didn't experience anything paranormal. Sorry to disappoint. No worries, my dear.
Like I said, I think it's very clean, and maybe it just gets visited from time to time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like the gentleman that was seen there, he probably pops in through the portal once in a while just to reminisce.
See what's going on. What are people doing? Oh, they got this here now. Like they said, looking at them at the glass cases, I can see that. And there were a couple pictures, but sometimes when you look at the pictures that when they say, look at there looks like a face, sometimes it's hard to figure out if that's like a pareidolia with the pictures or if there's an actual, face. So now, Ange, do you know if they allow paranormal people to rent for an evening to go in there to do paranormal investigations?
That's a good question. I don't know if they do that. I know a lot of people who visit, like a lot of paranormal people of interest go there and they scope it out, but I'm not sure if they can like rent it out for themselves. I don't know. That's a great question.
I mean, and if they're closed for that much of the year, that would be one way of being able to keep the place,
right?
Clean and upkept and having their, bills and everything paid, and to help with future events and other things that go on there. So what you got there, girl? What was the question?
This place in its heyday, and even now in whatever, I have the Star and I have the Magician. This was very helpful, very healing. Lots of good was created coming out of there. The Star came out twice just when I was shuffling. I have it here, and I have the Magician. This is all good. Bottom of the deck, I have the Ten of Cups. This is so loved. This is lovely.
What was your question that you asked? Just on the energy of the building?
I didn't ask anything. I said, tell me about the apothecary.
Tell me about the okay. So I think I'll go ahead and I'll shuffle that too, because I was writing down a few, like was the energy of the building, what was the energy
I love it when,
of the land.
Yes.
Who's still there in spirit. We can always pull cards too if there was a seance involved, but I'm just going to go ahead and just pull cards on the energy of the building using my new deck. My first reading.
If you see me looking this way, I'm just looking at I tap into pictures. An image really helps me to tap in, and so I'm just staring at the pictures of the apothecary as I do it.
It's so adorable. And underneath the Ten of Cups, I had to look, as there's the Knight of Cups and Temperance, and I love the Temperance of this deck. It's just so it's
Knight of Cups.
It's just beautiful.
Allison.
I don't think I've ever seen such good energy on any place I've ever read on.
I just pulled the Knight of Cups, Allison.
Yeah, I said, yeah.
Oh, okay. I said that was cool. How you said
I
did.
I said, yeah. Sorry, you didn't hear me, but yeah, no, I think that's awesome. It's just lovely.
and I got the 10 of Wands. So I think the this kind of like overlaps with the 10 of Wands. I mean, for me,
Yeah.
the 10 of Wands can represent, there might have been some, because there was hardships. I mean, 156 years, you got people coming in that are ill, that,
Mm-hmm.
are not well. There were, it was a difficult job. I'm sure it, a lot of changed, a lot of different owners, and the owners trying to get it to where as it could be saved to become a museum. And then of course that gentleman that was there last, with him being ill, I think the job became maybe too much of a burden for him. And yet he stays there as like this Knight of Cups, keeping an eye on the place and making sure that, and it being a cup too. I mean, cups, liquid medicine, kind of like feel too. So I thought that was really interesting. And hello, Chaley. Welcome, welcome.
I got 2 major arcana. So I got the Death card, and
cool.
I have the Fool card. But when the Death card comes up to the next to the Fool card, it just simply is telling you like how many times this place has changed hands, right? An ending and a beginning, right? And also how many different generations, right, would visit that place. And then I have the Knight of Wands. So I like how we're getting the Knight energy here for this place as well. That's really cool.
And Ange, guess what I just
rebirth.
I just wanted to see what the next card would have been. And you know how you said that there were battles and wars going on there? I got the 10 of Swords, and there's a soldier.
Yeah.
With the sword.
Absolutely.
So that energy is still there too. And then of course the 2 of Swords.
Yeah.
I think it's a decision that's been made by them to stay there because they care about the land. Either they're connected there from the war and having passed there, but at the same time, that was their home that was protecting it, and they're still very protected in the afterlife. And Allyson, did you have another card? I didn't mean to.
I didn't. No.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure. Thank you, Miss Tarot D, for putting all the donation links and everything. And you are so appreciated, my dear. Thank you so much. So did we want to pull to see on well, I think the energy of the building and the land are kind of showing through with the cards that we just pulled. Would you ladies agree?
For sure. Yeah, I even got the empathy card as well. Like like we've been saying, there's like a lot of really good energy here. I really do feel like, believe it or not, the people who cared about people, unlike, I'm not saying that people don't care about people nowadays, but, just as Allyson was saying, right now, it's about the money, and it's about the different companies of the medication, the brands of the medication. And, it's very commercialized, very about the money, very great. Well, back then, I really do feel that this place was a place of healing, that people who worked there and who frequented there really did care about one another.
And of course, you're right by the water too. And that's, also we can look at the water. Water is conductive of spirit energy. So
for sure.
Yeah, she'll be back. Yeah, her internet connection. So the spirit, the water there, you're going to have, that flow of extra energy. And that might be too why that last pharmacist was able to manifest in such a strong corporeal form, physical form, was because you can tap into that energy of the water there,
true.
conduct that. So and what's this, Miss Tarot D? And if anyone wants a lap dance from an old drag queen stripper, feel free to text us.
Oh, Miss Tarot D, I love you.
So when Allyson comes back, what do we want to ask next, do you think, on the of the cards? Do we want to see if there were seances performed, or what would you like to do? Okay.
Yeah, let's ask that if there was. I mean, I'm sure there was, but it's just fun to ask. Yeah.
Now, do we want to ask if that particular farm, we don't even know his, actually we do know his name. His name was, I think, Erland William Field. No, he owned the building.
Fields.
Okay, here's Allyson.
Yeah, Erland William Field was the last one who owned it, right? Yeah.
You're okay. We're like, Angela was like, where'd you go?
I was like, where'd Allyson go?
It happens.
She was like a ghost. She went poof.
Yeah.
Disappeared. So Ange and I were going to see, maybe we could pull the card, see if there were any truth to the seances performed.
Okay.
In the building or in and around on the land.
Okay.
And if you could think of one, Allison, let us know too.
Yeah, it'd be cool to know if that apparition, was somebody who worked, like, was it the old, sorry, what is his name? Erland
Fields?
William Field. He was the last person who owned it, but we can do the seances thing first.
Yeah. Victorian substances formed. Oh, I'm glad I got this deck. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. I love this. I'm sorry, y'all. Were seances involved? Well, I'm gonna wait till Allison's. You two are done, and then I'll
I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah. Let me put you on the big so we can see your cards. Karen, I got
the Lovers and the Knight of Swords. That's a big fat yes about communication and answering the question. I'm not even pulling further. That's a yes for me.
And
that could be one time. Who knows? I just asked, is there any history of any sort of seances going on at this how did I word it? I said at this apothecary, and I got that. So to me, that's yes.
Very cool. And I got 7 of Cups. So yes, to me, and the door is opening. So here's like the door, the portal being opening. Here are all these different cups coming through and connecting with, with the spirit here. So either multiple spirits are coming through. And if you think about 7 of Cups, there were 6 owners, but there's probably maybe another person too that might have been a part of, so that's very interesting. 7 of Cups, and there were 6 owners. So these could very well be the owners that people were maybe trying to reach. But yes, and then I also got the 6 of Cups about nostalgia, and there's
So did I.
Huh?
So did I. Sorry, I should shut my mouth. But so did I.
7 of Cups.
6 of Cups, 3 of Cups.
So I got the 6 of Cups, and Karen, I got the Ace of Pentacles too. So here it's coming through. Here's the I think it was that spiritual, it's that communication, it's the energy coming through. It's the foundation. To me, that also represents the land. So in that location. However, I don't know if everybody necessarily had some good experiences or something at that point, because I did get the 9 of Swords. So it's quite possible that with the seances, somebody may have had things follow them home, because let's face it, a lot of time back then they didn't know about protection and putting up, making sure that nothing followed them home, or doing things properly. And these seances could very well have utilized Ouija boards, so that could have been a factor. But yeah, most definitely. And what'd you get, Ange? And hello, Christina.
I got the 2, the 5, and the 9 of Cups. So all cups. So yeah. And they all have like the tinctures on them,
Oh my God, I love that. That is so cool.
Right.
I gotta get that deck.
Yeah, 2, 5, and 9. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's no doubt about it that there wasn't. And then the bottom of the deck was that Fool card that came up when we were originally asking about the energy of it. So yeah, that very much does say that that they did take place. I don't know how often they took place there. But
did you just say Wheel of Fortune?
No.
Or did you say Fool? Oh, okay.
Fool.
Because Karen said that she got Wheel of Fortune and the Ace of Pentacles. And Karen says, yeah, I think with the land, Wheel of Fortune, lots of cycles of fates and changes. So different energies can be around that could have been tapped into.
Absolutely.
Awesome, Karen. I like that interpretation.
Yeah.
And you said you pulled some more cards, Allison?
I did. I said I was done, and then as soon as I said that, I picked up the deck that I had those 2 cards come out, and I just finished shuffling through the deck, and these 2 flew out together. Again, it's just continuing on. Three of Cups is a very celebratory energy. Six of Cups, again, we're talking about seances. And for me, anything like with the apothecary and all that, it would be swords and cups, right? That's it for me, right? Cups and swords are always medical for me. Swords, obviously, that's a very, it's just very medical, right? With the doctors and all that, and the cups. Anyways, it feels very light, very happy. Also, I wanted to comment. You said something about how back then when people were doing seances, they didn't put up any sort of protections. That's not my understanding.
Well, back then they didn't really understand, I think, like we do today, how it's important to, call in spirit, say, I mean, to me, I would think back then that people weren't as educated as they are now about if you go to do seances or Ouija boards or any type of like what we do paranormal communication, that certain prayers should be in place, certain protections, smudging, making sure that spirits stay in their place. I mean, I'm sure they had an idea of maybe doing that, but not like, because I know that a lot of it was for like fun and parties and stuff, and when you had people who are drinking and want to do the seance. So not, I think there are some that are very serious and probably knew how, had that in mind, the intention to put protections, but I think also there were a lot that thought they were like fun and games and really weren't considering or thinking about how important it was to put up a spiritual protection during these communications. I mean, that would be my guess, my assumption. So that's me making an assumption back for that.
I know that when Ouija boards came out, which I think was in like the 20s, the 1920s, something like that. I could be wrong. Somebody feel free to correct me. I know that was treated like a game, and a lot of people got into a lot of hot water with the Ouija boards for sure. But like seances that go way back, I think it's like, and not to disagree, I'm just saying, I just want to say, and again, this is just my understanding. There's people that knew exactly what they were doing and that it was very serious and they knew what to do. But like anything, you've got people that come in thinking they're going to dabble around with something. They have no damn clue what they're doing. That happens today and it happened then too. But I do believe personally, there were people that knew exactly what the hell they were doing all the way back to ancient times, because there were seers and there were medicine people and all that kind of thing. So I think it just kind of depends on the people. That's all I'm saying.
And I got that Nine of Swords, which made me feel like possibly people got stuff following them home, because you had the nightmares, you had the anxiety, the worries, and you saw that spirit coming in and they're in the beds going, oh no. So I can see, once people, like you said, open that portal or they start to shine their light, if they don't know how to properly put protection in or stand their ground and, tell, leave me alone, you're not to follow me home, you're not welcome. Some people didn't know about that kind of stuff back then, and they got attachments. That's what I was feeling.
Right, and it still happens today. Yeah, people monkeying around with stuff that they don't know about.
And it's so funny, the minute we start talking about Ouija boards, look who pops in. Hi, Tom.
Tom, when did the Ouija boards first come out? Or anybody that wants to Google it, I'm curious now, because I was just mentioning it and I cannot remember.
And I think it was the 1900s.
There were talking boards. I'm not talking about talking boards. I'm talking about Ouija boards specifically. I'm just curious.
It was invented in 1886 in Chestertown, Maryland, and named in 1890 in Baltimore, Maryland.
Okay.
Right.
1886. Wow.
Yeah, that's the... Anyways, I mean the actual Ouija board.
Yeah, that's what it says. The exact invention.
So that's the year that board company came out with it, 1896.
The Ouija board.
I thought we were well into the 1900s when that happened.
Love to you and Peter. I think they might have become more popular because of, the age of enlightenment.
I mean, there were boards you could buy and all that. I'm just
the board
information dork.
The board that became Ouija, it was born in 1886 in Maryland, but it was named in 1890 in Baltimore, where it was first manufactured. 1890. It was manufactured.
That's what I'm looking for. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
And hello, Delphi. So we have Delphi has joined us. Carolyn, and I'm sure Peter is nearby. Hello, Carolyn and Peter.
Hey.
Welcome, welcome. And let's see. I have twins. How can I not get it? Okay. Oh, sorry. That was a side conversation with Karen and Sassy Pants Tom. So Tom's got some new nicknames, Alice, especially
Nice.
this past week. And Miss Tarot D said, Ange, what led to the invention? Does it say of the Ouija board?
Let's see.
They probably just wanted to
Hi,
friggin'
Emily.
patent it to make money.
Like
Because it was a
Brothers did.
concept that was around for years and it originated in Europe, I believe. Or was it? No, wasn't it? Well, there's been, anyways,
Parker
there's been
Brothers.
talking boards for.
Tom says William Fuld, I think, died in the 1920s. So 1980s makes sense. So I'm thinking Tom is referring to the person who invented it. And she says, yes, Peter is here. Hello, Peter.
Hey, Peter. Yeah, it says the widespread desire to contact the dead after the Civil War led to the rise of the spiritualism and the marketing of spiritual devices like the Ouija.
That rings a bell.
And the spirit photography and everything, yeah.
Because I dove into all that and learned about it a couple years ago, but I don't really.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting. And we've been joined. Say hi, Nancy. Say hi.
Come
Say hi,
on.
Auntie Allison. Hi, Auntie. Say hello, everybody.
So pretty.
So he is not going to stay.
I love those eyeballs every time you show.
I know. He's got the prettiest eyes.
Look at it.
I'm going to go bye-bye now because I put nails into Mommy's legs.
Oh, ouch.
On my table. So, yes. And hello, Tim. Good to see you, my dear. Welcome, welcome. I think it's the first time you popped into one of my chats. I love how everyone's just all coming around now. Ange and her friends. And John had also popped in. I don't know if you saw that earlier. I said hi to John. So the next question that we were going to ask, if it is Mr. Field, if he is the spirit that people are seeing, right, Ange? Did I get that?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Mr. Field.
Okay. His name was Erland William Field.
Yeah.
Field as in like a field of corn? Field?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
What was his first name?
Erland William. Yes.
Erland. Okay.
All right.
Let's see. No, but I definitely want to do that show. What now, Tim? I mean, not Tim. Tom, are you talking to me for me and Allison, or are we having a conversation with Karen? Let's see. Maryland. Oh, so Miss Tarot D said Maryland was a predominant Catholic area at the time. So interesting that this had any links to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was us witches, girl. That's who did it. That was us.
Yeah, I stay away from those things.
Yeah. No, I don't own one. I just meant trying to communicate to the dead, not necessarily through Ouija board.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here.
I'm not well versed enough in how to properly utilize. So is Mr. Erland William Field the gentleman, the spirit that people are seeing? I got the Ace of Pentacles again.
I got the Knight of Wands again. So it's almost like, okay.
And I got the Knight of Pentacles this time.
I'm feeling like that's not who it is. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm just.
I think it's somebody else, but I think that it's somebody who definitely feels an attachment. Again, with all the damn cups, you guys. I got the Eight of Cups and the Moon. So I think this is somebody who, you die, you have to go away, right? But there is a bit of a sadness and like a attachment here, emotional with the Moon. And then I have the Two of Cups with the Six of Cups. This is somebody that has an attachment. Like I had said, Two of Cups is very much like a union, a connection. Six of Cups is, it's fond memories. It can be familial, but considering the question we're asking and the subject matter, this is a strong connection in love and care for that place. And this person, obviously had to leave, but with the Moon, which is a very It can be read so many different ways. And again, I go off of what I feel off of this. I don't feel like this is who it is. But yet again, I can't say for sure that it's not. But those are the feelings that are attached to it. I did ask, is this who it is? And maybe I should have asked it differently. I'm thinking in hindsight, but that's definitely why that person's there, whoever it is. And I'll do part 2 in a minute. I'm going to see if I can find a yes or no on that.
All righty. So for me, I got the Ace of Pentacles again.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's just like, so for me, the Ace of Pentacles is about, or so for me, I'm feeling that it's the apothecary too, because you can't make tinctures or tonics without using natural herbs and plants and flowers from nature. But for me, it's also the money. So I'm wondering if the Ace of Pentacles is referring to somebody who had money to either put this place into business. It's like the fund, like the person, it was like, here's the money to fund, here's the money to create this apothecary, or possibly the person who that might have been on the Ontario Heritage Trust that, you know, that they were connected to, who wanted the money to get the funding for this. Because I also got, this is interesting. I hate when I ask for a clarifier for a court card and they give me another court card. So I got the Knight of Pentacles. And so for me, the Knight of Pentacles, of course, is someone that's very laid back. They watch. They're very attentive. They don't rush things, which is funny because when I asked for a clarifier, I got the Queen of Pentacles, which is, yes, grounding. Mother-like energy. Someone's very nurturing and grounded, and of course is able to provide, you know, a foundation, especially a financial foundation, but also for me a spiritual foundation. And when I looked for another clarifier for that one, I got the Eight of Wands. And I'm like, well, we got the Knight of Pentacles, who's very slow moving and watches and takes her time. And then they give me the Queen of Pentacles and then the Eight of Wands. So I don't know. I may have to. Okay. And then at the bottom here is the 7, the Chariot. So I don't know. I may have to re-ask the question again myself because I'm a little. So Ange, I'm going to give it over to you. What did you get?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Okay, so I got, for the tarot, I got the 8 of Coins, 8 of Pentacles, and I got the Magician. And to ask a little bit more, I got the Reflect card and Cooperation, as well as Creation. So when I put these all together, I mean, this is very much somebody that had, like Allyson was saying, a connection to it, like a close connection to the pharmacy. Reflect just means like they still have an attachment to it, right? Like cooperation means they were somehow involved in the pharmacy, but I don't feel like it's that particular person we're just asking about, right? Nothing comes up that gives me a big yes, it was, right? But they're definitely whoever that particular person is that presents himself often to the visitors, and that it is somebody that was closely tied to the pharmacy, but not necessarily the owner. I don't even get a feeling like this person worked there, but they had some sort of dealing. Maybe this person helped get the supplies to, you know what I mean? There's lots of different helpers to the pharmacy. Maybe this person, in cooperation, maybe they helped get the supplies to the pharmacy somehow. You know, the 8 of Coins very much is about working, you know, like, but in cooperation, like the Magician and Creation. Yeah, no, I feel like somebody just had a really close connection to it, and they really developed some really good relationships with the people who work there.
And Allison's nodding her head. She's like, yep. So what
I do too. And I think that, again, based on these cards, and I'm also getting some hits, which is fabulous. And I don't always, so I'm having fun right now.
Yay.
But it could have been an herbalist.
Okay.
Ace of Pentacles. Yeah.
You know what I got? Because I then was like, I wanted specifics. Who is this? Who is this? Who is this? Look what I got. And just bear with me. I got the Devil. and I got the King of Swords. And these
Mhm.
came out together.
Mhm. Mhm.
I said, all right, clarify this for me. I got the World.
Yep.
And then I finished shuffling the deck and I had two come out together. And you notice, Heather, and anybody else, I didn't do an actual spread, and I always do spreads. I got the Hierophant with the Four of Swords.
Mhm.
You know what all this tells me? Or what I'm going to make of it? This is somebody, especially with the Devil, with the King of Swords, with the World. This is somebody who was messing around with some shit. And either it didn't go well or they died, which everybody dies at some point. But this devil, why is the devil here?
Yeah.
Why is the devil here? What
Good
is the
question.
devil?
I got
Right?
the devil too.
The devil is bad habits, addictions, weakness, just bad, yucky, gross, addictive energy in some sort, all of that kind of thing. It could be other things too. But with the King of Swords, which is for me is a doctor or a medicinal energy or whatever, consider what we're reading on.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what this is for me. The World is a completion. It's an ending. And I don't read the World as death, but with the other cards I already have out, this is what's going to come out to wrap this up. Right? So that's what I'm making of that, considering that then I got the Hierophant with the Four of Swords. Four of Swords absolutely is a death card for me. And with the Hierophant, this is about being, I was like, who is this? Who is this? Who is this? What were we reading on? This is an expert in the field.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's what I said. I think it was some sort of either somebody who made, maybe they worked there, maybe they didn't, but with the apron, but the apron could be freaking anything.
Right.
But I'm feeling like this is somebody who dabbled in what they made.
Mm-hmm.
King of Swords, or could have been, doesn't mean that they did. And if any of these people died all the time, and they die all the time now. This devil just, yeah. Anyways, I'm going to stop. That's what I think.
Interesting. Ange, I'm just going to go really quick because I shuffled again. I decided to pull from my Hush Tarot just to get a different energy, a different look of the cards.
Yeah.
And I got the Devil card again. I got the Devil card too. But I also got the Nine of Pentacles to go with it. And I had gotten the Queen of Pentacles. So I'm like, I'm seeing all the men, and it's a male spirit. But, and of course, it doesn't have to be, masculine, feminine. But this was somebody who was who was very well off, very independent. Basically, the Nine of Pentacles, she's like queen of her garden, she's queen of her homestead and everything that that was created. But I also got the 10 of Swords. So I think too that whatever, like Allyson was saying, whatever they might have been dabbling in or what they created, that might have been what led to, like she said, the devil, the addiction, or becoming connected or obsessed, or I didn't get a death card. I didn't really, and then I got Judgment. Okay, so Judgment would have been next. So that's interesting, that 10 of Swords, everything in your back, you're down, you're done. The Judgment, maybe, for me that's spiritual awakening, but at the same time it is a type of judgment, so maybe that they're still there. But it's so weird that somebody who would be connected with like the Devil card or dab, that would be kind of like an icky energy, would still have such a good energy to the place and be looking out for it. But Ange, what did you get?
Yeah. I mean, I'm really tapping into something here too, and I understand what you're saying, Heather. But if you think of it like this, like if this person had a close connection to it, but it was for their own gain in terms of monetary, thing, like you said, like if they were well-to-do,
True.
people sometimes don't have the best of intention, but they can wear a mask and make you think that they are well-intended.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I got the Queen of Swords, right, to go with the King of Swords there, and I got the Death card, and then I got the Hierophant, right? So that's really just exclamation point to what Allyson already said. But then I was like, okay, show me some oracle cards to clarify what we're saying here, and I got Voice, Okay, because this person, like, clearly, well, you can look at it as the voice of the apothecary. Maybe they were the one, like I said, going out when I said helping to bring the supplies in, maybe they were the ones that were seeking out some of the supplies, and then maybe some of those supplies weren't the best supplies that should have been coming into the pharmacy. Let's just say that, because then also I got with the voice, I got the throat chakra. I mean, with the voice,
Oh
like,
my goodness.
You got throat chakra and voice.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
the same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And then I also got hunt. So that kind of goes with that devil energy, right? Like hunting. And yeah, so yeah, I don't know. Like this person definitely had some dealings with bringing things into the
Sacrifice.
pharmacy. But yeah, right? So there's some,
Wonder the magic opioid elixir, Isadora said. Yeah.
right? Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah,
and Shelby said, literally sounds like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, but
could
yet
be.
the energy feels light. You know, all of us were picking up on the energy feeling light.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Allison? She's like,
I don't think it's bad.
Mm-mm.
This was a self-imposed prison on this person that has nothing to do with the
Yeah.
energy at all.
Right. Right. It was
Hey,
the individual.
we all have our demons.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the whole thing. And then at the bottom of the deck, I just wanted to say I had the Six of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune. This is quite literally moving away with the Wheel of Fortune turning forward. I have death here 3 times. And for me, this is a death.
Yeah. There you go.
And the other 2. And Heather, what did you say? You had Judgment. What was the card right before that?
The Ten of Swords.
Right. So that's
Yeah.
the
Devil.
ending. And then seeing
Mhm.
the errors immediately following. That's what I would
Yeah.
make of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yep. For sure.
And Audra is here with us. And Audra, I'm sorry you had a hard time connecting in chat. That's really weird. She said she's been
Actually,
trying for 30
Heather,
minutes.
she's not the only one, because John was saying he can't get in. He said he was able to comment once, and then now he can't get in. And he wants to know if he was blocked. And I said, nobody's blocked.
No, I saw John earlier and I said hello to him. So nobody.
But he says he can hear, but he can't chat. He can only chat that one time. And now you're saying Audra as well. So that's really weird.
It's got to be something on StreamYards, and then you guys, it's not anything from my doing.
And he said he whatever it's called, refreshed or whatever, and he still can't get on.
Oh, John, I didn't do it, I swear. And really quick, Tim said, Allison, Aries girl, just sub to your channel. I'm a fellow Aries right here. So
Oh, thanks, Tim. I never post anything, but thank you.
she hasn't in a while, but I'm sure
I have been MIA, but I swear I'll be doing something soon.
Yeah.
But anyways, thanks, Tim. Oh, and he said he was an Aries. Good man.
And Tom says, sounds like YouTube problem. Yeah. So wait a minute. Shelby says, if you have chat problems, exit out and come back again.
Yeah,
it
you can try
to
that.
Me too. And Audra said it also happened with her and Bobby and Ginger the other night. So, yeah.
It could be YouTube. It's not necessarily StreamYard. I mean, it could be either one. But
So is there another? Oh, wait a minute. I wanted to pull. I got my poll, Lenormand, and I just wanted to pull on the spirit that is there. And this is very interesting. What just came out? Let me just. Ooh. Okay, so I got the park, which is, let me just put me on here so I can show the. Whoop, there we go.
Hi.
Which it's this is the public. So to me, I know this is like a family portrait. I don't know why they used it for the park in this deck, but the park is about public. This is where people went with their families and they stroll around and everything. So if this was somebody who is in the public figure, here this could maybe represent this individual as one of the ones in this family. Then the next card I got was the older man gentleman card. And people are saying they see an older gentleman in his. Then I got crossroads. So I'm thinking there was a crossroads. I did get a book, and I'm wondering if this book represents maybe maybe ingredients, knowledge, what he was trying to create. I know Shelby made a comment a little while ago about someone wanting to make like the ultimate elixir to be able to help people or to help people feel better or whatever. I did get lilies, so there's another herb. I'm not sure what the lilies, what their properties are, medicinal properties are, but lilies are also about chastity, virtue, and about authenticity. So then at the bottom of the deck, I got the whip. So there was a lot of pain, a lot of conflict, and a lot of suffering done. So I'm feeling that again, to me, this is connecting with this guy, probably was playing with stuff or taking stuff from the pharmacy, trying to feel better. And then, at the crossroads, I'm curious to see what the lilies are.
So, okay, so the park card, and you say like publicity in public. So, and if you put that with the book
Mm-hmm.
and the old man, I mean, that's almost saying that he had something to do with the books of the pharmacy. Like he, again, like back to like maybe he was part of doing the orders for it.
Yes.
And maybe he had his hands in places that he shouldn't because he had access to these things, right? Oh.
And John made it back. Welcome, John.
John made it back.
And Allison's shuffling. She's got her on some mute, so she'll let me know when she's ready. And Miss Terrell D said, finally found the stir the pot emoji. What'd you get, Allison?
I just pulled one card from this Flowers of the Night Oracle that I have. And I got affinity because I asked, I was like, what can you tell me about the spirits that frequent at the apothecary? And this is the only card that came out. It's just because, again, it's just well loved. Six of Cups. It's just affinity. I also got depth came out behind it. It's just, it's nostalgic and all of that good stuff. Heather, really quickly, I don't read what's it, Lenormand? But I know that like with the cards that are how they are in the order and they're next to each other and this, that, whatever, there's no messages there in that way. And you're reading it different than what I've seen, which is fine.
I go across. Yeah. So for me.
But is that a spread that you're doing or are you just cards?
Well, with the Lenormand, you can do anywhere between 3 to 4.
Yes,
to
I've
5
read
to 9.
quite a bit about it. I just don't
that's
do
what
it.
I did.
So
I went across it because it kind of like reads like a story with the Lenormand.
Right.
And then for me, because I'm so used to looking underneath the bottom card like a tarot deck, I wanted to see what was at the bottom. And that's where I kind of like the overall energy was the whip, which is about conflict and, suffering and pain, basically. So I'm thinking that, with the old man at the crossroads, again, like Ange was saying with the books, he was probably one of the ones that was doing the accounting, putting down in the books, the herbs that they were getting in. I did get the lilies. I couldn't find the medicinal on the lilies in my one book. But the book is about authenticity. So I don't know if Nia was maybe trying to authenticate something, a new tincture, a new medicine. Maybe he ended up vibing, enjoying it a little too much, but I did get the suffering.
What are lilies?
I was trying to find lilies in here, but they're not.
No, I mean in the Lenormand. What is the lilies?
Lilies are about chastity, virtue, authenticity. Let me grab my one.
Okay, that's very much like the Hierophant.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like virtue. Yeah.
Yes.
Because I always associate Hierophant with spiritual traditions, and to me,
well, it is, but it's all. I mean, you know what I mean. It's a lot of things. All the cards are, but yes, absolutely. And you know what I'm talking about.
And it's also about sexuality and passion, but it's also a purity. It can also symbolize motherhood. As a result, these calm-looking flowers with their glassing, describing they're both growing. Wait a minute, let's see.
I think it was the first things you were saying, and that's also why it would have been the first words that you said.
Yeah.
See, because I don't see lilies as spiritual, as like a like a hierophant.
They
That's
have like a
interesting.
wisdom. They have like an elder, like a wisdom behind them, but also like ethics, morality, and like you said, virtue, sex.
Okay.
Like it can mean that too. Yeah,
Sexuality.
It's very
Okay.
hero. Yeah.
but you can take it however it falls with the other cards, right? Yeah.
Sexuality. Who knows? Maybe it was doing something to. Maybe it was an erotic experience that they were having, playing around with tinctures and stuff too. You never know.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the whip, so
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe.
John Savage, security guard knows his shit, Miss Tarody. Oh, I don't know. I just looked up and it said, wait a minute, whipped cream. No, not whipped cream. Is that Miss Tarody? Oh no, that's Audra asking about whipped cream. Oh, you guys, you get Tom. See, Allyson, you get Tom and Miss Tarody in the chat, and now they're dragging John into it and everybody else. You know, guys. Geez. So is there another question that we want to ask about the place?
Is there anybody in chat? Does anybody in chat have a question for the apothecary you want us to pull cards on?
Allyson, what about you?
What about me? What?
Is there a certain question you would like the three of us
I'm just
to
thinking,
address?
I'm looking at the information here and I'm just
I'm sitting here looking, going, well, we did the energy of the building, the land.
Where's my pen? Oh, here it is. Okay.
Yeah, I really can't think of anything. Let's see. Ms. Tarot D. No, Indigo Jaguar. I posted a very lovely saying and John took it to another level. I was very innocent this one time. And then John right underneath it. Nope. He said nope. Oh, here's an interesting question from Moira. Did the white coat man die in the apothecary?
No.
Ooh.
Oh.
Okay.
I will pull a card, but I don't know.
No.
Well, we don't know the history of all the guys that were there.
I'm going to say no.
Sure,
I'll pull a card. But it's funny, Ange and I at the same time are like, no.
I was like, no.
No.
Nope.
Okay.
We could ask after that. We could ask, has anybody died there?
Yeah.
Anybody died there? Because it's possible you got somebody that's in triage or whatever, and they show up and they fall out right there. In fact, I'm surprised in all that time.
Again.
What's that?
So the damn Hierophant.
Oh, did you?
Again. And let's see.
Okay, these are not making sense.
I got the Two of Cups, the Knight of Cups, and the Hierophant. So
I don't think so.
So we're asking,
but somebody might have. All right, I'm gonna mute. I'm gonna pull on this.
So we're asking if the man that is being seen, the spirit of the man, did he die in the apothecary? Because I was just getting weird cards. Like I was getting the stork, and I'm like, stork and
again, he's not earthbound there. This guy comes and goes, in my opinion, out of the portal. So just because he's there has nothing to do with. Yeah, I don't think anybody. Well, somebody might have.
Hey, Bobby, welcome, welcome. And he's saying wedding. A wedding? Whose wedding? Bobby, we already know you're married. He says howdy. So I don't know. Wedding. So they have another card.
I got that card again. I swear to you, I have more cards than just 4, but they keep coming up.
So the man that's seen in there, did he die in the?
I got that Hunt card again. H-U-N-T, Hunt. I don't know what the Hunt thing is about. But it came up.
And Miss Tarot D, it's Hunt. H-U-N-T.
Don't twist it now.
He came back again. He's in the middle of the cards.
There you go. So he came back and the Hierophant came back. So what's going on here? Okay.
Well, I got fish, which has to do about prosperity, money, wealth.
As long as it's not the floppy fish from last night.
Oh my God, the floppy fish. No,
Potty
mouth.
No,
I don't think I have any pencils in this deck. So
no.
Don't worry about the pencils. Nope. Did he die she got no?
No. I got the star and I got the Empress. That's no.
No.
That's a place of hope and healing and growth and beauty for who that's what that was for him.
This is so weird. I got the fish. I got the old gentleman again.
Yeah.
I got the clouds. Whoops. Sorry. I got the clouds, and the clouds are about confusion, covering things up, unable to see. I got the crossroads again, the railroad tracks.
Mm.
Then I got the cross itself, which is also about pain, suffering. And then I got the mountain. And it's interesting because in this one here, the cage is open and the birds are being set free.
Mm.
So I don't think this individual passed.
So that's a 4-card spread.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I just kept pulling
6.
just to kind of get more of a, what's the underlying energy at the bottom. Now there's 2 mountain cards in this deck for obstacles, difficulties, and and I got on the bottom, I got the obstacle, the mountain. That's interesting. Unable to move on.
What does the mountain mean in the Lenormand again?
The mountains is about obstacles.
Obstacles.
It's about you you got that looming mountain ahead of you.
Yeah.
And it's like it's basically you're at an impasse.
Okay.
It's a blockage. It's it's basically like a no card, because it's like, nope, you gotta you have to figure out how to get around that, or it's going to take a while to get around that. I don't know how to do the grand tableau. There's just too many cards for me with the grand tableau.
Yeah, that's overwhelming
for the Lenormand. But yeah, whoever this person was, I got the figure, the public figure again, and Allyson, he came back up again. So it's an older gentleman. Public figure. There was a commitment though. He was committed to the community. He was committed to his profession. But did they die at the location? I'm not seeing anything that would say yes that he did. So I don't think so. And I'm going to give it. Allyson, you got something?
No.
Oh, okay.
Nope.
Just checking to make sure that everyone's
that's okay.
got a chance to get share their cards.
Didn't I already share on that?
Yeah, but I didn't know if you pulled more cards, because sometimes you
okay.
do.
Okay.
That's
Sorry,
why
I just spaced for a second when you said that. I'm like, I thought I already pulled on that.
Yeah. I just wanted to double
And
check.
then wait, did I?
Shoot.
Ange, did you have any other cards that you wanted to share?
No, I had one nightmare card that kept flying out at me. I don't know what the nightmares was about. It flew out twice, but I just sort of put it back in the deck because I don't know how to read on it. I don't know what to make of that. But
Miss Tarot D, I predict that Heather will begin to sing "Ain't No Mountain High Enough."
That's right.
That's funny. So next question then.
Did anybody die there?
Did anybody die at that look? Now, maybe on the land, yes, but we want to be specific. Did anybody die
At
in
the
building
apothecary?
as an apothecary? Yeah, because the land that it's on, it could have been that somebody died on the land, but just to be more specific, did anybody die within the apothecary itself? So.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay.
I'm going to be a minute. I just had a kerfuffle with my deck.
A kerfuffle. She had a kerfuffle. So let's pull from this new deck. John, it's Friday night and I'm hanging with you. If you get into trouble, I get into trouble at Judith. Let's see. Karen says, I think he maybe died with his friends and family around. That could be it. Gosh, Karen, you look at things like I don't think, to look at them. I asked, where did he die? 3 of Cups and 2 of Cups and 4 of Swords. Wow, Karen.
Oh my gosh, this Hierophant card, would you stop? The Hierophant has something to say tonight.
Okay, the Hierophant, in my opinion, because it keeps popping out for you,
Yes.
that is that specific person.
Yeah. Like,
and
okay.
that's, we were asking, when we got that, we were asking about the guy. Is that the Fields guy? We got no.
Right.
But it's this guy who I think is showing up as so maybe that guy died there.
Oh.
Right? Maybe.
Okay.
Bobby says he was a priest. Bobby, how did you get a priest? Share your cards. So for me,
yeah, maybe he was a priest.
And the Two of Cups again. Okay.
I know. I got the Two of Cups too, Ange.
Again, yes. And this has come. And I got
the
the
Two of Cups came out for me when the priest came out.
Yes, exactly. Yep.
Bobby, you might be honest. Bobby, we've been trying to get you to join Ange and I for the birdcage, saloon. Maybe you can join Allyson and we can all do it we can have a foursome.
We should. The Birdcage Theater, please. Yeah. And I also got the Page of Cups, but specifically, I mean, yes, we can read it as a Page of Cups, but what I'm really drawn to is look at how it says eternal youth, like on this tincture. Isn't that interesting? For the Page
Bobby
of Cups.
said, I read your cards. He officiated weddings.
Was that the Ace of Cups?
Page of Cups.
Oh, Page of Cups. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So Bobby's not pulling cards. He's just reading what we're pulling. Very interesting.
I love when people add their,
I need to study tarot more because I need to expand my vision. So we're asking, did anybody die within the Apothecary Museum?
I got the cemetery card, so that's a yes. Okay.
Oh, this is interesting. Okay, now that does not make any sense. So, okay. I think so. I got the heart card. Okay, so this is interesting. I got the whip again, which is about pain. I mean, just pain, inflicted pain, a card of suffering. I got the key, but then I also got the clover, which is interesting because clovers are supposed to be good luck and abundance. But I also got the snake card, followed by the rebirth card, followed by at the bottom, I got the heart. So I'm wondering if this person died of a heart attack. There was pain, the key, something to do with clover. Maybe something had to do with the tincture with the clover. But that snake, though, I'm just wondering if the person who's there, I wonder if this was an accidental death or if this was an intentional death. Because people knew what tinctures were and how to hide things and to mix things.
I'm definitely picking up a child that died there.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yes. Yep. Sorry.
Yeah, because I have the cemetery card, and then I also have the In Loving Memory wreath, literally, and then I have the child. This is the child card, and then
I got the Page of Cups. I have the child as well.
Yeah, and then the Page of Cups. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I also pulled from the Ghost Tarot, and I got the King of Pentacles, so that there's that male energy, and you know what, Bobby, you could very well be right because I got the King of Pentacles. I also got the Two of Cups.
Two of Cups again, yeah.
And I also got again the Knight of Cups. And the Knight of Cups is kind of seen as like a knight of shining armor, someone who's very loving, compassionate, very kind.
Wow.
I pulled from the Tarot of the Haunted House, and I got the Five of Wands, though, followed by the Chariot, and then the Tower. So I am wondering if there was somebody involved there was a conflict. The Chariot, here, come this way, and then the Tower, things falling apart, things collapsing. I wonder if somebody was moved on, led led from. So I keep looking at those original Lenormand cards.
Oh wow, I got the Plague Doctor.
Ooh. Let's see. Isadora said that was my question. Did anyone die from the medicine prescribed? Very interesting.
Yes. As long as that place was there, yeah. And they didn't know what the hell
Yeah.
they were doing back then.
Yeah, for sure.
People
Yeah,
die
but the-
today and they do well.
Yeah, pain,
They don't even
the
yeah,
key.
never mind. I'm not even gonna get started.
the clover, and Miss,
Yeah.
and Miss Tarot D. I saw that you. Oh, and Karen said she got the Knight of Cups too. And Miss Tarot D, an Irish priest. That's quite possible too. But let me look at the names here. I don't know if any of these are possibly Irish.
Can I go?
Yeah, go ahead, Allyson.
So I was asking, did anybody die on this at this location since, because we know that it moved once, whatever. So at this location, right? This farm, this apothecary. So I got the Four of Pentacles, the Six of Cups, Justice. This is somebody that went there looking to save a situation, a loved one, and it didn't work out. And they got what was coming. That's what I'm getting with Justice. And I said, who is this? I got the Page of Cups. This is the child situation, and it felt kind of like that, which is kind of weird. And I had already asked, because the first card that came out, and then I ended up putting it back in when I first started. I got the Ace of Cups, which to me was an answer, because the first thing I asked was if anybody had died there on location. I got the Ace of Cups, and that's when Anne held up her card, and I said, what is that? And she said it was the Page of Cups. I was like, oh, okay. Well, about a minute later, when I started pulling all these, I got the Page of Cups as well. So that was that. That's a definite. And then I said, how many people have died there? I got the Two of Cups. So I don't know if that's two different people or what, but this feels kind of vague. But I did get that when I asked that specifically. But I did get the Ace of Wands. For me, that's dying for the actions that were taken, that were there. And this is the only Wands card that I've gotten. I've gotten pretty much, I don't think, anything other than Major Arcana, Cups, and Swords, which is interesting. That's all I've gotten tonight. In fact, I don't think I've gotten anything else. And I got the Hanged Man, which can also, to me, right now, that's a death card. This is a death card. It's not the death card, but
yeah,
it's a death card right now. I don't know. I don't know how else to yeah. And I don't think I've ever read it this way. But also this deck, again, with the symbology, you guys, I don't usually use symbolism at all, but I'm looking at this card, and what I'm asking on, there's quite literally nooses hanging from the trees. This guy's hanging upside down. This is death.
Yeah,
and it's
sure.
the skeleton tarot. Anyways, yes, people have died there. I don't think it's many. I think it's a couple. And I do agree with Ange. I think there was at least one child that died tragically there. I'm going to say on the floor.
Yeah, I it's funny you say that. I got chills.
I just got chills. A child died there on the floor. I feel like it was a boy too.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I should have said it out loud. Yes, you're right. Yep. That's right. And then I don't know, this is interesting. This dog card keeps flying out. Okay. And the thing is, like, until I personally worked at a pharmacy, I never really knew that people come to the pharmacy to get medicine for their dogs. And of course they do. Why wouldn't they? But I never really thought about that until I had people come in for their horses and their pigs and their cows and their dogs and their cats. And so I'm also feeling like there was some animals that passed away there, because clearly people would be coming in for medicines for their animals too, right?
Back then, for sure. Yeah.
And then 10 of swords. I mean, self-explanatory. And then the Lover's card came out a few times for me too. I don't really know what to make of the Lover's card with all of that, but yeah, I mean,
decisions, choices that were made about all that kind of stuff. Could go the right way, could go the wrong way.
Yeah, true. Yeah, but I mean, definitely there is several people that died. Not too many. I don't feel like too many did. Now, did the child that passed away there, I feel like the parents were trying to help the child and bringing him to the pharmacy thinking, okay, and I think I don't think they gave him something and he passed away from something they gave him. I think he
No,
passed
just
away
died.
of his illness, whatever he had, and they couldn't save him. Yeah.
Bobby said, notice that since you said priest, no one is pulling the Hierophant. Now we know
We had all
who.
already pulled it several times. No, that's not true. I had pulled it twice,
You're
I think.
on to how. Awesome. I'm not sure if I understand, Bobby. I'm a little lost because my cards really aren't matching up, and I don't know, maybe I'm not reading them properly, or I don't have enough in-depth understanding of each of the tarot cards to be able to pull this together. Like because Ange and Allyson have been reading a lot longer with tarot than I have.
I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I just had a syringe card fly out at me too. That's kind of creepy, hey?
Yeah.
Yuck. Okay. Woo. Never knew they gave vet meds at Walgreens and CVS. Yes, they do.
I didn't know they did. Wow.
They do, yeah. A prescription's a prescription. Doesn't matter if it's for an animal or a human, yeah.
So Judith has been sharing her story. She grew up in a house that was haunted. So did I. It was with bad restless spirits. I was told that there was a murder in a mine under us, and was also told the houses on our block was built over an Indian burial site. The native people were here, so anything that you build, there's going to be some sort of likely a burial ground, native burial ground, because they were here way before, a lot of us moved here. So yeah.
Wow.
Well, did we answer questions? Is there other questions we want to ask of this place?
I think we pretty much killed the cat here. I think I think we've asked her. I mean, unless there's somebody else that wants to pull on cards, I'm happy to do so. But I overall, I don't think there's an overall bad energy. Yes, some people have passed away there, but I don't think there was ill intent. If they did die from the medications given, I don't think it was ill intended. I think it was just, that's what they call it, a practice, right? So
yeah, because I wasn't getting any child energy.
I think it was way more pure of heart back then than it most certainly is now.
Yes, 100%. Yes.
I know that older gentleman kept popping up in my my Lenormand. So that gentleman there definitely. I keep looking at this with the snake and the rebirth and the clover. I'm just wondering if I'm just wondering if the man that they see there, if he died accidentally from something that he was creating, or if someone knew how to mix certain tonics together to mask stuff to be able to. Because, like, example, I was the very first episode of the Dead Files. The mother had killed her children, or tried killing her children and herself with something called Paris green. And back then people didn't know really what Paris green was, and it didn't really smell like anything, and it was basically kind of like a rat type of like poison, and that she would put that in, like, I think her husband and the kids' food, and that was making. And so back then, I'm wondering, because of the tinctures and people not knowing stuff and being able to mask things, if the person who's there might have died from someone intentionally doing that to them, or if it was accidental, on their own. That's what I was just curious. Karen says she got an accident, so it was an accident. Okay, Karen. That's why I like having multiple people to share cards, so we all get some time to. Let's see. So, alrighty. Well, I guess we're done reading on this location. So let's see. We're at 9:44. Oh, I didn't realize it was that time. Allyson, do you have to go at 10? Because I know that you get up early in the morning, and you're usually good for about an hour and a half or 2 hours. Was there?
I'm okay until you guys are not okay. It's fine. I'm not going anywhere tonight.
Okay. So was there anything else you ladies wanted to read on? I mean, tonight's the new moon. I didn't know if you want to do a collective for everybody before we go, or what would you like to do? Because Ange, we usually play things by ear when Allyson
Oh
and I
yeah.
Friday night.
No, I'm
so.
cool with whatever. I'm just happy to hang out. I'm not in any hurry. I'm okay energy wise, and whatever you want to talk about, or
Is there
whatever.
anything, Allyson, you want to pull on, or what would you like to do?
Sorry, there's somebody outside.
Oh, there's the
No.
grandpa card.
I mean, does anybody have a question? Can we do that?
Sure, yeah. Anybody got questions?
Now, earlier, Judith was sharing a story. Judith, did you want us to pull any cards on this experience? I don't know, Allyson, if you were. Oh, my chat just disappeared. Oh my goodness. Okay, stop YouTube, stop StreamYard. Judith was sharing a little earlier about a haunted house. Let's see, she was sharing a story. I grew up in a house that was haunted with bad, restless spirits. I was told that there was a murder in a mine under us, and was also told the houses on our block were built over an Indian burial site. Fucked me up for years. And then she continued with, my mother even had a minister come and do whatever they do. Same here, but did not work. Same with my situation. Then didn't she put my bedroom in the basement? No wonder so Judith, did you want us to pull on this, or was this just
Judith,
you
I am
sharing?
so sorry. I would have gotten me and my child out of there. And I most certainly would not have put my child in the basement.
No.
That's horrifying. That pisses me off.
Yeah. I mean, we brought my mother had the place, blessed and everything, and that thing,
I would have moved.
Leave us alone.
Bye. See ya.
Yeah, well, let's see.
Nothing's more important than your children.
I don't know. Back in our day,
my mom, we would have been out of there.
So yeah, I don't know if she's typing, Judith. Yes, please pull on this for me.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and Bobby says me. So we Judith would like for us to pull cards on this house.
Okay.
She goes, I left home when I was 15. I couldn't take it anymore.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
So Bobby,
good for
I'm going to go ahead and star you, but we're going to take a quick look at Judith.
What was Judith's last name?
Anderson.
Okay.
And Judith, this home that you speak of, was it also in Toronto, around the Toronto area that you're talking about? Like where, you don't have to say, of course, the exact location, but was it in Ontario? Was it in Toronto or surrounding area?
Everything that she said, yeah. Well, I wasn't put into the basement, but yeah, that thing didn't leave me alone until after we left. And then I moved back into the house after my dad passed away, and by then I knew what this was all about. And I told it, you're not touching me, you're not touching my mom, you're not touching our animals, you're going to leave me excuse my language, everybody, you will leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah.
Or because I know people who will take care of you.
I had the justice card pop out. Is this the one that she said about the Indian burial ground?
Yes.
Yeah. There you go.
Need I say more?
Was it Alberta?
It was in St. Albert, Alberta, Canada.
Okay, Alberta.
Judith, I didn't realize you had another Canadian. Wow, a lot of our Canadian neighbors are hanging out.
Yeah, she lives in Ontario now, but this situation happened in Alberta. Yep. Okay.
That's sacred land.
Judith Anderson.
That's what I would make of that card coming out anyways. But all right, let me see what I get.
Yeah, I'm going to go mute for a second and go dark. I got to focus.
Hmm.
Judith, you said there were restless bad spirits. You put an S on it. Did you ever find out? Did you ever have like a psychic medium or anybody read to see how, how many spirits there were, or did you physically see the spirits yourself? Because I got the Nine of Pentacles, which feels
Yes.
like this is your home, this is your mom's home, but then I also got the Five of Pentacles, and they're like five spirits looking at this house. And I also got the Seven of Cups, which with the opening door feels like there was again a portal. um yeah, actually this Five of Pentacles, typically representing isolation, strife, lack, fear of. I'm just gonna put myself on the big screen for a second. I'm getting like if this was a burial ground, yeah, then those are the spirits in the land coming up out of the land. Um, and I did get the world card. I got the two children. No, wait, that's not the world. That's the sun. I got a. Is it the sun world? But there's the children. I don't know about the children. There might have been children involved, but I gained that nine of. And you said you got Nine of Pentacles too, right? You went.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how did you read the Nine of Pentacles with? Because I feel
Yeah.
like that's her mother was kind of like her mother didn't believe her. This is my home. This is this my property. You know what I mean? It's like this is my home. I am not going to leave. This is what I worked for. This is what I built for. And then I got that Five of. My God, it's
Yeah,
just
so the
like
Nine of Pentacles, you're right. I did read that as like the home. Like this is the home that we're reading on, and because you can read that in that way in terms of the you know luxury in terms of having the home kind of thing. But then I got the Five of Cups and the Nine of Swords, right? So that very much
mm,
speaks to the Five of Cups with the abandonment. You can feel like the grief, regret, loss, that whole feeling. And then of course with the Nine of Swords, we all know about that. That's the nightmare, anxiety card kind of thing. So
mhm,
that is obviously speaking to the symptoms and the feelings that Judith
yeah,
was experiencing. I'm going to continue to pull some oracle
yeah.
cards if you guys want to.
I got the Ten of Wands also. So this was a heavy burden on you, my dear.
Ten of Wands.
A lot of stress. And I'm seeing for me in this deck, that Seven of Cups is going to be like a portal. The doors, the windows are open and all these cups are coming in or they're presenting themselves. So Allyson, I think, is still pulling. Hey, Ramon, how are you?
Ramon. Hello,
Ramon's
Ramon.
here. And hello, Daniel. Good to see you. Let me see if Judah said anything. My mother was psychic, and there were many from what I was told. The main one was evil, the others not so much. So if your mom was psychic and she put you down in the basement, what the hell? Why would I don't understand. I don't know if she thought maybe that you would be protected down there, you would be safe, or she did. I don't understand that.
Mm.
Who knows why some mothers, I mean, I still don't know why some of the things my mother did what she did. You got any cards, Allyson, you want to share?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
So your home, your house, where it's sat, obviously your home is there as a beginning, a new, it's the home, right? But it's being crossed by what it has coming, even being there. And the Justice card is what crossed it, right? Again, the Justice card came out again. Past position, Ten of Swords. This is the tragedy. and you know what occurred there. So I don't know if this is necessarily, and I'm not going to pull clarifiers on all this, necessarily what you endured or the history of the land where it was. But if there are people buried there, you know, this is also seen as like a death type card, right? It's the ending and that sort of thing. There's only a few cards in the deck that I read that way, but this is definitely one of them. But then I have the World card. It would have been the recent past position. And I read on this in terms of your childhood home. You know, again, this was the completion of a cycle that took place, and then you guys are there. You're on it. Right. So it's a historic, unless actually, as I say, unless that information is not right, but obviously it is. What was the other thing that supposedly took place there? There was the burial ground. There was something else that she said.
Something about a mine. It was built for a mine that people died
underneath a mine. Yeah.
A murder took place in a mine.
Yes,
a murder that took place in a mine.
Yeah, I can't go back up that far, but yeah.
Crowning energy, 10 of Wands, huge burden. The incoming energy, and this is for you. I read about you, your childhood in the home. This is the incoming energy. This is you leaving when you said at 15. That's how I'm taking it. I think then you were in a much better place. I don't know what it is that actually happened. You were seen as being very strong and taking charge of your life for having done that. This is for whoever's watching, family, friends, you know, I would say coworkers, but I doubt you were working at age 15. Hopes and fears, Ace of Pentacles. This was your new beginning. And the outcome, you know, you leaving was the best thing to be done. You know, but yeah, this is horrible. 10 of Swords. You've got the Justice crossing the Fool, the crowning energy, 10 of Wands. Yeah. Anyways, again, I would have gotten my child out there. I'm sorry for what you went through. That's horrible. Absolutely
Karen
horrible.
got the Judge card.
And somebody said psychic should know better.
And Judith said she said back then psychics were thought of as witches, so this was never talked about in her home with her mom's abilities. So,
and just because you're psychic does not mean that you're good. There's a lot of people that are not good that are psychic, and I'm not saying your mom was bad. I'm just saying you could be psychic no matter what. It has nothing to do with spirituality. I mean, it can, but it doesn't have to. I've known a couple different people that were very psychic, and they definitely were not high vibration.
Judith, I pulled from the Tarot of the Haunted House, and I got the Moon card. So there were obviously secrets and things connected with this house, with the land and what it was built on. And to me, this also kind of feels like, if your mom was truly psychic, I feel like you have that energy as well. And that the next card I got is the Fool card, but if you just look at the image, this is you running away from that home. You were terrified of this place. You ran. And I got the King of Pentacles, and I also got the Emperor. So I'm feeling like, yes, this was you maybe taking control of your finances, your life, getting secure, feeling stable. But I'm wondering if like the main spirit that was evil or somebody associated that was with this house or the land that was being haunted was male. And you said somebody was murdered, and this emperor's got, you know, a gun in his hand. So there was somebody there with money, with wealth, as well, that was involved with one of the spirits at this location. I didn't pull specifically on the murder. I didn't know if you ladies wanted to pull on that, because I can't quite discern which is.
I'm sorry, where was this at? Where did this take place?
Alberta,
Canada.
Okay.
Thank
you.
So
other than mine there?
That's what she said. She said a mine. So Judith, you said it was an actual mine where they would go in and mine for resources.
You said
I
the
just
house
wondered-
was built on top of this mine.
around a mine, and she says, or a burial ground.
I thought she said both. The murder was in a mine, and it was.
Yeah. Judith, can you clarify for us? Can you retype that into chat, please, hon? Let's see. Miss Terrell D said 9 of Pentacles, but Allyson made sense with it. Okay.
There's no place called Canada. Bobby. Yeah, so like I said, I got the 9 of Pentacles. We already talked about that, and the 5 of Cups, and then the 9 of Swords. We talked about that. But then to further go in, I pulled the 10 of Swords and I pulled the 3 of Swords. There's a lot of sword energy. We can see here that this is all, has to do with psychological and then of spirit. And then I got the reward card as well. So you see here, like the skeleton with these two little, it's almost like, the parent and the children, but the reward part is coming, I'm feeling from, like you said, this is a sacred burial ground. If it was, then it's almost like with that judgment card, right? That's how I felt like the judgment card when I see the reward card in terms of the bad spirits that were trying to haunt the place. But then I got the protect card, right? That they're not only, there are some spirits that were trying to protect you and others that were trying to harm you. That's what I got from that. And then I got the woman card. So that could represent your mom, or it could be saying that there was like female presenting spirits. And I got the father card. So I don't know if your father was present for this or if it was a fatherly figure as well. And then spirit guide, which, I mean, you very much had, like I said, the spirit guides there to protect you. And then spirit speaks for itself. These were the spirits that were in the home, as well as psyche. Okay. And then 2 more cards. This one came up, it was breathe. So, I was feeling symptoms while I was pulling this and I was having trouble breathing. So I don't know if that's like the panic that you were feeling like in this situation. And then at the end there's rebirth. So that's definitely you like getting the hell away from there. Yeah. Wow.
Okay. I want to make a comment here. So Aura, I'm not sure. I don't know if I've ever seen you in my chat, but I want to address this. Allyson is not being mean for saying that someone's talent is not being good. There are some psychics, Allyson, I don't want to speak for you, but I believe Allyson was saying was that there are some psychics that are not as good as others.
I don't understand the comment.
She was saying something about that you made a mean comment. Someone's talent being
not good for you doesn't
define
anyone's
She meant ill-intended.
I don't know what she's talking about though.
I know that because you were referring to
you said some psychics are not good, but you didn't mean not good as in being psychic. You meant they were ill-intended. Some psychics are ill-intended, not good as in they're not good at being a psychic.
Yeah,
so that just meant,
I
don't
see.
even know
she's
who
misunderstanding
Aura is.
what I said.
Yeah. It's a misunderstanding, but I just wanted to set that right on there that there's no
anybody can be psychic. You can be pure of heart or not pure of heart. It's almost it's just something you come in with.
Yeah.
It's how open your third eye is and all of that.
It was she meant good as in good or bad as in what you're going to use your abilities for, not how good or bad your abilities are. Right. So, yeah.
So I just wanted to make, because, I'm just going to leave it there. It was addressed. So,
no, Allyson,
and Bobby says psychics are people. There are good people and bad people, just as any other.
Yeah.
And we all have different forms of levels of ability as well. This is the first time I've seen Aura in my chat. So I don't even know who you are. But yeah, so no more energy put onto that comment. So was there anything else that we wanted to read on for Judith?
I think those are pretty straightforward readings, unless she has additional questions or if you guys have anything more to add.
Judith, do you want us to ask the cards anything else? Miss Tarot D, bring it, peasants. What?
I'm curious, and she might have said if Judith had any further issues after she left that house. And she did say she came back later, but like in that interim, like I don't know, and maybe she said how much time went by or
she did make, I can't go back up, but she did say that it, it followed her, but she says, she said like me,
But that it
fuck
did
off, leave
follow
me
her?
alone. I think so, yeah. Audra, did you want to go ahead and do you want to share? It followed her for years, so it left the house
Oh
of
my
horror.
God.
Wow.
So I wonder why it was attached to her. I want to pull cards on that. I mean, that's going to be my question.
So Judith, you said it followed you for years. Did you stay in Alberta? Like when did you come to Ontario? Like when you left home, like where did you go? Like I just meant province wise. Did you stay in Alberta? Did you go to Ontario?
So something was attached to her.
Yeah, energetic. Yeah, for sure.
What is this spirit attached to Judith?
And I'm just curious, Judith, when did it stop? Like when did it stop following you?
I moved to Ontario when I was 26.
Okay.
And I got the 5 of Swords and 9 of Wands.
Mm.
Yeah, I would be 9 of Wands. I would be exhausted. I would feel, exhausted and pushed beyond. When it found another victim, Bobby said.
Yeah, it's attached to somebody else at that point, Bobby. You're right. Yeah. Roron, I have all of her decks. All of them. Yes. I've got the Antique Anatomy, and then I also have all of her Oracle decks. The Oracle of Oddities, the 2nd edition, the 3rd edition. I have Memento Mori Ancestors, Memento Mori Timing Pack, Memento Mori General Expansion Pack, and then the other one, and then the Lenormand and Oracle deck together. So I'm a huge fan of Claire Goodchild, for sure.
So I asked the cards why it followed her, and I got the Knight of Swords. So yeah, that thing pursued you, girl. Then I got the Page of Swords, and I think now, Judith, I don't know if you already answered this, but if you have abilities as well, that Page of Swords for me is also again about communication, clarity. This is usually typically like a younger person. Then I got the 10 of Pentacles. So it was connected with family, with wealth. It attached, but then I also got the 8 of Wands, which means you rushed again, you left. I'm going to go silent really quick, you guys. Let's see. Indigo, I was living in protective mode for most of my life. Now I'm finally in a good place. Hi, Daniel. You can go ahead and share the dreams. I don't think we're going to be able to pull cards on dreams tonight, my dear, but maybe next Friday we can pull cards for you on that. I just have to kind of go turn my camera and volume off so I can try to focus on this for Judith. So you want me to put you on the big screen, Allyson? You got cards?
Sure. And I didn't pull but a couple cards, and I had them come out together. I think that it was and I feel like it was singular. Maybe there was more than one, but it feels like I got 3 of Cups with the Page of Swords, and I immediately got from this that this was a mischievous energy that just got a kick out of doing this. 3 of Cups, Page of Swords. And the Page of Swords for me, the way I read it, is usually like a little shit. Just the Page of Swords energy. It doesn't have to be, but that is one of the ways that I read the Page of Swords. It's just mischievous, just kind of, just kind of a little shit, right? It can be. It's also like a spy type, 3 of Cups can be, it is with this together, it's just having a good time causing mischief. That's what I got. Like, I don't feel like it's necessarily like to experience it, especially as a kid, it's going to be probably like horrifying, whatever, but to the darkness or whatever it is, it was just, it was just all in good fun.
And
Consider the source though, right? Does that make sense?
Let's
Yep.
see. She says,
Yeah.
yes, I've had the abilities all my life and was advised at a very young age before knowing what the abilities were not to pursue as the evil would come in. It doesn't everybody's gifts are not evil. And just because someone has a gift doesn't mean that they're going to attract everything that's evil. That's where we go in. We learn how to meditate. We ground ourselves. We know how to protect ourselves. And we know how to call in, the proper spirits to help us.
Okay.
And he said, Aries girl, no, he was evil, she said.
Okay. Right. And probably so, but I'm saying from the perspective, this was a good time. This was fun and I don't doubt it. I'm just saying I'm just going to stop there. That's how this darkness was perceiving it. Like it was just, fodder. It was just fun.
Alrighty. And Ange, before I put you up, I just want to say hello to Topaz.
And from a kid's perspective, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Oh, that's Christopher. Hey.
Christopher. Hi, Christopher.
Hi.
So someone new. So welcome. And Ange, did you have anything you wanted to share?
Yeah, for sure. So I've got the 8 of Cups and I next to the 10 of Wands. So that's just very much a matter of fact saying 8 of Cups, moving the hell away from that very heavy situation, right? And then we move into the 9. Wait, did I did this. Yeah. The 9 of Cups came out, and that's for me, that's like you're like, nope, like you're focusing on good health and you want to, do that. And then the Star card came out, and that is, goes hand in hand with that 9 of Cups of like good health and healing and hope and that good stuff. So I got like 2 kind of like meh cards that were talking about that crap that was following you, and 2 of these other cards that were like okay, I'm gonna take this matter into my own hands and I'm gonna get the hell out of here. I'm gonna do something about it. And then also I got the Manifest card, okay, because these things have manifested themselves, and then we're like if you could see how they're all up in your head like that. So this is not you manifesting it manifested itself in this. You just so happened to be in that place where they were able to attach themselves to you. You can see how it's all attached to the head like that. That's exactly what they did. They attached themselves to you. And then I have the throat chakra came out with the voice card, which is really interesting because these 2 came out together in an earlier read about the apothecary. But this is very much just like it says, in terms of using your voice. So I feel that you gain the knowledge. This is a knowledge card, right? And this is a self card. So you took it upon yourself, right, to gain the knowledge, the proper knowledge to combat this, to use your voice, to use your tools, to rid this manifestation in your life. So I'm not sure if you learned how to energetically cut the cords, or if you sought someone else to help you do that. But certainly you must have done something, because, even moving to a different location, you can move anywhere in the world and they can still follow you, right? So obviously you've done something to rid yourself of those negative spirits. So I'm really glad to hear that you're not suffering with that anymore. That's terrible.
Yeah. And Karen says, yep, sorry you went through that, Judith. My 5 of Swords card is that little shit energy all the way, Allyson. Oh, you got some more cards? All right.
I did. I said, tell me more. After what she said, I got the same thing, but with 2 different cards. I got the 9 of Cups with the moon.
Yeah.
That's what this was. This spirit or darkness or whatever was perfectly content, fully satisfied, and enjoying the darkness and havoc that it wreaked. And this is one of the times, I'm going to read the moon this way because of what I'm asking and how this is coming out.
Right.
Yeah, just total shit. I'm surprised the devil didn't show up, but I'm only pulling a couple cards. But yeah, and I have no doubts that it was absolutely hell for you. I'm talking about the perspective from this darkness that, but of course, what else? How else is it going to be perceived?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was something I wanted to point out. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry that you dealt with that. It's horrifying. Again, you shouldn't have been there.
And I think that might happen to me too over the years, Judith, because there was something, Ange, when you pulled out the voice and the throat chakra,
Yeah.
I know that when this thing would go after me in my house and in the dream state, even after I left the house, here and there, I would occasionally have that same evil feeling. And what would happen? I would try to start speaking in my sleep or in my dreams to rid this thing, to tell it to get away. But it
Mm.
has this thing that followed me and would go after me, would actually take my voice away.
What?
I would have no voice. I could not speak. I would have to keep trying to fight through it to say, I in the name of, and I would call everybody that I knew on the spiritual plane to get this thing away from me. But I know that that's how a lot of times it went after me. It would take your voice away where you couldn't call for help, where you couldn't call even in the astral, in your spirit, in your dreams to call for help. So that gave me the chills when I saw
Wow.
those two cards. And I don't know if Judith that was your experience, but I'm just curious because I know this is what would happen to me. It would take my voice away, my throat away. I couldn't,
That's
and I would have
horrifying.
to really fight through it to be able. And I didn't, back down. I just kept trying to force my voice through it, and eventually I would, get through and start calling everybody, and either the dream would end or, um, yeah.
You could
So,
not speak or yell. Yeah, she just said that.
and
Wow.
Chris said, what you're talking about happened to me yesterday. It was like my throat was blocked. Wow. That's insane. And Judith said, I would run upstairs and sleep under my baby sister's crib in my parents' room. And yes, I could not speak or yell.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, these things, Allyson, the swords that you were getting, that's communication. It takes your
Yep.
communication away. You can't speak, you can't talk. So that definitely makes sense to me.
Mm.
Um, oh, I'm sorry, Karen. Yeah. For me, I don't scream waking up, but man, when I wake up, it just feels like death has walked over me. You just shaking and, your chest hurts, and most
Mm.
definitely. So, wow. Well, ladies, it is 10:17. I know we had asked earlier if anybody would like a reading, and I don't know what y'all's energy is like. I know Bobby had asked, for a reading. Do we have energy to pull some cards for Bobby?
Um,
It's up to you, ladies.
are you guys tired though? I don't like to pull when I'm tired.
I am, but we can do one. What does he want to know?
I don't know. Bobby just said me, me, me. So, Bobby, is there something specific?
Yeah, what's your question?
Yeah.
I am.
He is a
Suddenly I just got hit
non-paranormal.
with a wall. I am tired. But no, we can pull for Bobby. I just want to know
Yeah.
what he wants to want.
Right before
what
you
what
asked
are you
about it, I got
asking, Bobby?
So,
Yeah.
what you got, Bobby?
Go easy on us, Bobby.
And while Bobby's typing in, which deck do I use? I'll use my Hush Tarot. So I'll just shuffle. Wait to see what he. Okay, Bobby, my family found out I read tarot. How will they react? Uber Christians.
Wait,
So
what?
Bobby said
What?
his family found out that he read tarot. How will they react? His husband's family. How will
Oh,
they react?
They
They're
didn't
they
Uber.
just
know?
found out?
Yeah, they just found out, and he says
Oh.
they're Uber Christians. So I can pull cards on the energy,
Okay.
so the third party kind of thingy that and I know Bobby, you don't do third party too, so just the energy around you of what's going to occur now.
All right.
I did not know that, Bobby. I thought everybody on both sides knew. Daniel, we only have enough time just to do Bobby's. Ange and Allyson are tired, and I don't like having my guests pull cards when they're tired, because then we're not properly reading for the individual, and that doesn't make
I'm
us
ready.
safe.
I had everything flying out
Oh,
at me.
okay.
Uh-oh, Bobby. Here we go.
So next week, Daniel.
I think that there's
Thank you
going to
for
be there's going to be some shit, right? In terms of like, you know, how they're going to be stuck on it. And who this is, I don't know. Like if there's one person or if all of them or whatever, but there's going to be some aspect of that. And it is going to change things in some sort of way. But there'll be a little bit of, there's going to be some change, but ultimately I think it's going to be fine. How quickly that's going to happen, I don't know. I know I just did 5 cards. I got 8 of Swords, Death. This is the order. 5 of Cups, right? But then I got the 10 of Cups with Judgment, and this Judgment feels quite good again when it's got I think it's going to be what I just said. Yes, there's going to be like a attached to it, which is probably happening right now or is going to or whatever. I don't know how quickly this is going to transpire. So it's going to go through a transitional, and there's going to be some, you know, seeing things a little bit differently here with the 5 of Cups. So sad. I'm so sorry. Good Lord. I mean, you know, but that's a very limited viewpoint, and I'm sorry that you're going to have to deal with it. But I think that there is definitely care and love and all that kind of stuff. And have you guys been married a really long time? It's going to be okay. I think this is actually probably a good thing, right? Ultimately, and hopefully you feel that way, but it's going to be fine. It's just going to be, it'll be the new normal later. It'll be fine. But I'm sorry for whatever you're going to have to endure. And if you're upset about this at all, I'm sorry, but I do think it's going to be okay.
Alrighty, and they've been married for 25 years.
Yeah, exactly. You guys have been together forever, so.
And once they see I heal people, it'll be okay, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
and I think so too.
It'll be okay.
Okay.
You all set, Ange?
I am. Okay.
Allyson.
So definitely going off of what Allyson said, I got the 5 of wands. I mean, so yeah, there's going to be some pushback, a little bit of conflict with them, but like overall, you know, the next card is the 7 of Cups here. So, you know, this is very much coming about commitment issues, but from their like perspective, like this whole energy has nothing really to do with you. It's all about them and their perception of it. This isn't going to change you at all of what you do or where you stand. Now, you know, it's going to be a little awkward in terms of, you know, the energy between you for a little bit until, like you said, they come to terms with what your intentions are with reading the cards, right? But you know, there's a little bit of anxiety, so some anxiety here, and that's their anxiety, not yours. But ultimately, I got the Page of Swords, right? So I really do, and next to that, I got the Expand card. So I really do feel like you are actually going to expand their minds in terms of what tarot can do for people. Because, you know, your typical Christian, and I don't mean any disrespect to any Christians watching or who follow that, but, you know, tarot is smeared in like this evil, don't touch it kind of thing. And I think that you're going to be able to use your abilities to expand them. Not that you're going to convert them into reading the tarot, but at least you can, you know, show them that your intentions are not ill and that you're actually helping people. And then I got the Protect, and that is definitely you protect your energy, because regardless of what they think, it doesn't matter. This is your practice, not theirs. Okay.
All righty. Miss Tarot
Can I
D
say
says,
what's at the bottom of the deck before I
Yeah.
I'm done with mine, and then I'll shut up. Thank you. So at the bottom of the deck, and I should have looked and I didn't, I saw the 3 of Cups, right? And so I looked behind it because I always do the 3 cards at the bottom, right? I either do just the 1 or sometimes all 3, but I wanted to back up and see what was there. Knight of Swords, right? With the Ace of Wands, with the 3 of Cups, right? So we've got the reality and the conversation and the thinking and moving forward and all of that, with the action of the change and whatever. 3 of Cups. It's all going to be just ducky. It's just going to take some time. And,
I like that.
and again, I feel like this is at least 2 people. I don't feel like, honestly, who all these people are, there's some of them that, although they might be what you're describing, Christian, wherever, there's a couple, or if not one, that is not going to give a rip at all about this. They might go along to get along, but inside they really don't care. But there's at least one or two that do. And that's what this reading applies to, because there's at least one or two or more that, one for sure, that just really doesn't care. Like knows that this is nothing, doesn't matter. But anyways, okay. So it's a whole bunch of them, but it's all going to be okay. But there's at least a couple in there, this 20 or whatever, that really don't give a crap. They don't care.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. So Bobby, I got some cards. So I pulled from my Hush Tarot, and you know, there is a little different perspective. I did get the 10 of Pentacles, and I feel that, you know, things are going to come full circle. This is going to be grounded. It's going to be successful. And in his deck, he says here, through all the ups and downs, you live contentedly, looking out upon the blossoms of all your success. So they're going to see your success. Like you said, they're going to see that, you know, you heal people, you help people. And to her, for me, she's just sitting there on her bridge, looking down, and she's content. Everything looks well. I got the Ace of Swords. You know, you're going to be able to bring in something new, new perspectives, new clarity to some of them. You are going to be able to communicate what you do and the positive aspects of what you do. And the horse here, it's a unicorn. It's a little armored. So I'm sure you're going to be protected. You're armored yourself, but at the same time, there is going to be, or this could represent some of them armoring up, being ready for whatever's that you're going to explain or see, or what they are going to see as you share with them who you are and what you do and the importance and the beauty of it, of what it is that you do. I did get the 9 of Pentacles. And this is about, you know, he's standing on something with the foundation. There's the little key right there. And the Knight, you know, takes time. They're probably going to step back for a bit. They're going to look. They're going to see what you do. There's going to be an understanding. It's going to be a time for education for them. This is studying, looking at everything that you do from all different aspects. I also got the 8 of Pentacles. They're going to see how hard you work and how caring and dedicated you are. And the underlying energy is, yes, there's going to be some conflict. I did get the 5 of Wands. But I also got the Chariot. Things are going to be moving forward. And what I love about this Chariot is that even though it's partly missing a leg, it's still moving forward. She's still in control. She's got her crown. She's got her flags a flying. Her freak flags a flying. And all like the broken toys and everything that's underneath. It's going to be all underwater. Those few people that don't care, they're just going to be left behind. And then I did get the 6 of Wands, which is about victory. You're going to continue moving forward, and I think things are going to be very well. So that's what I have for you, Bobby. I hope that helps. And Bobby says also, money talks once they see what I'm doing well.
Yeah, for
sure. So, you know.
I got a few more oracle cards for Bobby as well. So I got the awareness card again. You know, I'm really feeling like you're going to bring more awareness to them about what this really is, because I also have revelation.
I agree.
Right? So you're really gonna open their mind and look at observe came out. So, you know, let them observe what you do. You know what I mean? Again, not saying that they're probably gonna get a tarot reading from you or they're gonna be interested in tarot itself, but at least that maybe they're gonna be open-minded enough to observe and be like, oh, okay. So they can step the hell out of their ego, because this is all this is their freaking ego getting in their damn way. And yeah, I think everything's going to eventually be okay. There's going to be a little bit of like awkwardness there, especially for a little bit, and maybe even forever. But I mean, it's not going to like make or break like a relationship at all. So
the ones that are more evolved.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. The younger ones, yeah.
And I like what Chris shared here. Knowledge is the killer of faith. They fear the freedom they don't understand. I like that. And Bobby said, I think they found one of my videos. Gracias por todos, amigas. Oh, gracias por todos. Okay, I mean, you're welcome, Bobby.
Well, seek and you shall find. You're not, you're not doing anything wrong. And, you know, anybody that looks down on it or feels
Gross.
frightened about it or whatever, and I'm not trying to be mean. It's just I don't even need to finish.
Yep.
It's just, and that's no. I mean, I'm sure they're perfectly lovely people, or some of them, or most of them, or all of them, or whatever. It's just this is not the devil. It's just not.
Mhm.
And Karen, you've been doing an amazing job. She says, I've been pulling cards along with everyone tonight. And yes, you've had some amazing insights. Thank you for sharing.
I
And
love
she
you pulling
also,
cards along with us. That's good.
and Karen also had cards for Bobby. King of Wands, looks like you when you were dressed up on Halloween. 3 of Swords, 6 of Cups, Awakening Judgment, 9 of Cups. It will hurt and sting, then evolve, but in the end, you will be okay. Yes. And all righty.
Oh, God. Tom, don't start. Remember them going on yesterday, Heather?
Oh my God.
Lord have mercy.
Don't even.
Here we go.
We kept inviting Miss Tarot D to join us, and she kept turning us down, and then kept coming back and saying, well, Ange won't invite me. And now Tom just stir. Tom, if you're going to stir the pot, you got to lick the spoon. Remember that old saying? Oh, there we go. Tom, don't stir the pot.
Actually, I did invite Karen, but she had Halloween stuff to do with her child. So actually, I think I'm number 69 on that list.
Oh, good Lord, Miss Tarot D. So, all righty. So then we're coming 10:30. So yeah, we've been on for a couple hours. I didn't realize how fast the time went. So anything you got coming up, Allyson, Ange, that you want to share?
Actually, tomorrow I will be with Mr. Early Ritual over on oh my God, I just blanked out. Brian's channel, Blushing Nerd Tarot. I was just invited just today, so it's just came up, and Brian wanted to know if I would join them, and I said, yeah, that would be cool. So I don't know who else will be there, but Brian just said
with Tom.
Tom will be there.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, over on Brian's channel. So Blushing.
Brian's awesome.
Tarot. Actually, here I'll post it in the chat.
He's got a really cool hat, and he also has his own tarot card store.
Blushing Nerd Tarot.
And
Brian is really cool. I like
yeah.
Brian.
I gotta get Brian on to join us. You would like Brian, Allyson. He's fun.
And Tom's okay too. He's all right.
Yeah, Tom's all right.
We love you, Tom. All right.
He works in a pinch.
Oh, thank you. Join us tomorrow. And that's at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. Okay. Tomorrow on Brian's.
Yeah, me too, Bobby.
What's Brian's channel?
Blushing Nerd Tarot. We just posted it in the chat. Blushing
Nerd Tarot?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's cute.
I know. Yeah, I'm glad Brian is back too.
All righty. Well, good night, Bobby. Everybody, thank you again. I have Nancy on Monday for Divine Feminine, and that's pretty much it, unless I decide to do a pop-up this weekend. You never know when the spirit moves you to do that. And thank you, Ange, for joining Allyson and I.
Thank you so much for having me. This was fun. I liked it.
It was fun.
Yeah, we'll have to do it again, definitely. I'm really enjoying the paranormal reads.
Yeah, it's really cool.
They are fun.
If you ever do any more haunted theaters, I got that other deck that I need to use again. So let me know.
well, I think there's a haunted theater in Niagara on the Lake. They said they mentioned it when didn't they? I don't know. I may have to look into that, but there's lots of theaters. So let me tell you.
Yeah.
And I think the Riviera around here, even though they don't talk about it too often, I think the Riviera might have some. We'll be in touch, girl.
Yeah. The Birdcage Theater. Hello, Bobby.
Bobby, Birdcage.
We need to do the Birdcage. Come on,
dude. Let me and Ange know when you want to get together for that. Maybe we can do that on a Friday. Allyson, you, me, and Ange pull cards.
Yeah,
if
Allison's into it, we could definitely do that.
That would be a lot of fun. So,
there was also a spirit in this house last night. I mean, we have spirits. Right. Yeah, we have spirits that come and go, but specifically last night
in your house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in this house. Yeah. And there was footsteps, and my husband, it woke my husband up twice. And then I said to him, well, because like I was sound asleep, I said, you should have woke me up. Like I would have talked to it and stuff. He's like, what? Like, and I said, well, obviously the spirit wasn't here to harm us. He's like, oh no, it didn't feel like that at all. He was just walking through. He's like, he heard him downstairs, or him or her, and then upstairs. And I said, he said it almost sounded like it'd be a taller person because of the strides that they were taking, because we have some teenage boys who are taller. So, you know, who's coming by the sound of their steps. Do you know what I mean? So this person like sounded like they were a taller individual, but the previous owner of this house, his name was Henry Walker. And ironically, he's walking through the house. And I almost immediately, as soon as he said it, I'm like, it was Henry. I know it. He was here. And when we first
your
purchased,
husband psychic?
He's definitely tapped in. I don't think he utilizes his abilities like he should, like enough to practice enough, but he definitely is tapped in. But yeah, I just thought on Halloween night that was kind of cool that he
That's very cool.
Judith.
Yeah.
And Judith thanked us for looking into her place. So welcome, my dear. And Miss Terrell D said, my husband says that we have spirits in our house because lately the TV in the living room goes on by itself at 3 a.m.
Oh, witching hour. Love it.
Yep. So, all righty. Everybody, thank you again. Have a great rest of your night. Have a safe and fun weekend, and we will see you on one of our next shows. Yes. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Oh, where'd Heather go?
Uh-oh.
She clicked off. Actually, if we wait a second, she'll be back unless you got to scoot.
I think we're still live, though.
Oh, we are. Oh.
Oops. I love to start hitting the end stream. Sorry, guys. All righty. It's official.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.